So, the sleep schedule didn't get reset in any way. I know you were all keen to hear that immediately. Welcome to another stream, guys. Basically, finished yesterday's stream. Played Mass Effect for... Well, no, it took me a while. Like, 2 hours after yesterday's stream ended, I was sorting shit out. Then from about 12 till 3, I played a couple of hours of Mass Effect just to get a bit further. I think I'm on Ferris at the moment. Went to bed at 3. Woke up at 7 today. Which, as you'll all notice by the clock, was just 70 minutes ago. So I've done nothing. It didn't fix anything. Didn't solve anything. What? This is like ridiculous. I'm not an adult. I'm not an adult. I'm a teenager still, apparently. Jesus Christ. WP is ASMR incarnated. I'm not really sure I'm that ASMR-y. I could do some very ASMR-y things. I guess you guys are saying that because of the music. That music's a really, really nice track. I like it a lot because what you have to understand is it exists on the soundtrack of some really ridiculously awesome songs. I've played on the stream before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like they're incredibly adrenaline-packed. Like Roller Mobster, if you listen to that, there's some from Carpenter Brute. They're ridiculously sounding awesome tracks. And that's just like a very calm, happy thing. So, we did get a little bit of clarification from Mr. Orville, by the way. There's some little extra things about this potato cam. Let me just go find what that was here. He says, in case anyone asks, the urn in the background of this potato cam, of the video, is a coffee container. And it contains coffee beans. But on it, it has written in hex, 0xDECAFBAD, which is leet speak for decaf coffee is bad. And then the wooden object is a coffee mill, which he uses to make coffee. So obviously the skill pin there, I don't know whether I mentioned the skill pin. Oh my god, that was loud. The skill pin is, of course, from the Nightfall Collector's Edition. Not one of the super badass ones. Yeah, it's funny because I've always criticized people who get... Oh, no, I'm not really criticized. I've just never been someone who really enjoys having, you know, like a lot of tats and all the gaming-related bollocks. But I really want that full collection of skill pins. Like, seriously now. That would be so amazing. But yeah, I've only got the Nightfall ones as well. So, no, that's where the Antichrist lies. You had an you find ASMR creepy, to be honest. It depends what it is. Like, sometimes it will be a bit weird. There's that thing, the guy that appeared on Would I Lie to You, that did ASMR videos, or a girl, sorry, who did ASMR videos on YouTube of just unwrapping, wrapping presents. That was the whole thing, which is the sounds of the presents being wrapped, which I think could be a bit weird for some people who don't really understand it. But, like, you know, more simple things like... and I think that sometimes like whispering can be a bit like that as well. But I don't know, stuff like pages of books slowly turning, stuff like that can be quite nice. Anyway, moving on. Today we've got Zero to Hero. Hope you guys very much enjoy what we've got in store. Now, plans are still a little bit wobbly, but we should have some good stuff coming up. So here we go. Let's go to our overlays. We are on our Zero to Hero account right now. As soon as I log in on this character, the timer will continue. Current plan, we're going to do at least one berry farm. We're going to do a full set of berries. And hopefully with that full set of berries, we can, in the time it takes to do that, we can sort of secure some other ideas. I think we only need Ember Bay, potentially for one accessory. And I'm actually thinking one of the easiest rings in the game to get possibly could be just dipping in for a couple of recommended fractals. Just doing like a daily recommended fractal every now and then. And that might be the fastest, cheapest way to get a ring that we care about. But the thing is we need a Sinister ring, and I don't think that those are available for sale in Fractals of the Mist. So what we're going to do is we're going to determine that probably after the... No, let's determine that now. Let's do that now. Let's just log in here first for another login reward. We'll get that chest there. Our inventory's full again, so that's going to be a bit annoying. Let's open that and grab ourselves 3 laurels. Let's open that and grab ourselves a free exotic. And let's grab the engineer's exotic equipment. Because, hey, why not? We got some boots. Infiltration, but it's exotic. It's level 80, so screw it. Let's do that. That we're going to have to delete because that was a level up thing, so we can't do much with it. Let's grab ourselves a free set of mystic coins, 6 of them. So they just threw a good amount of cash at us there. Thank you very much, ArenaNet, for that. 5 gold. Nice little top up there. We now got 9 waiting on the TP. I can sell that wood as well. Why not? And then lastly, we've got a little bit of luck, which we really don't care about. I really think they should increase the magic find cap. Is that just, have I lost perspective on that? Is that stupid of me to want? Anyway, so we'll grab that. Now, let's quickly go back over onto Goat Dropper here, okay? And we're just going to check what they're selling at the moment. I'm 90% sure, 99% sure that there is no Sinister Ring available in Fractals. And I think it's Sinister we care about, either that or Vipers. I don't know. We'll have to check out what people are saying on Meta Battle, which, whether you agree with it or not, is generally what pugs will look at. So that's the world we're in. So we'll check that out. Watching WP while doing maths, chillest way possible. I'm glad. I'm glad. I think I'd rather be described as a chill guy rather than described as the ranty guy that I'm currently described as. Maybe I should just talk less. Thing is, you can't really be chill without a face cam. If you're chill without a face cam, people will just think you're boring. Is basically the situation. All right, so let's because they can't, you know, they don't even have expressions to look at in the meantime. Where's the timer? Are you just trolling me? The timer kind of didn't work because they're all built for single segment. It's crazy to me. The speedrunning community is huge. Look at shit like AGDQ. And yet, somehow, well, here we're sort of sneakily bypassing. All right, I won't accept that. Let's just do this the way we're supposed to. So let's go have a look. You know, speedrunning community is huge. I actually already have 12 pristine fractal relics, which is kind of a cheat, so I'd have to spend those elsewhere if I was actually going to do this. But yeah, there's no sinister stuff going on here, right? Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Alright, so no sinister. That's a bit worrying.
See you.
You might need the Bloodstone Fen ring, otherwise you'll need to infuse your Bitterfrost one. No, my idea actually is that... oh yeah, well, if this doesn't work, then yeah, we're going to have to do that. I'm wondering if we should do another... I don't know whether it's worth farming for the Strange Rock. I don't know. I feel like the loot on it might be a lot higher than people give it credit for. Like, a lot higher. But... it's just that people don't do it enough. So I'm wondering if I should go on my main account or an alt character and do another Strange Rock farm. And just see if we get one. Because I don't know whether it's reliable. And the other thing is, it might push the economy down on it. Currently, it costs about 80G, I think. They did fix it for what it's worth, or big parts of it. So people that don't know what this is, total noobs who are watching, the buy orders are at 80G, as you can see here, which is the important bit. For people that don't know, this is a rare item that drops in one of the maps, which you can basically buy straight off the TP, and that's Ascended Gear straight away, almost. You just got to throw in a couple of volcanoes, which we've got access to the map now. We did on the last stream. So this would be a really, really handy thing if it was cheaper. So I'm wondering if I did a stream and we zerged around and we got a bunch more, we could show people that this is, you know, more common than people realize, and the price might go down. If we drop the price of this to like 30, 40G forevermore, it might be interesting to buy, considering we would already be able to afford that, and we'd have that done. And that would skip, like, a nice chunk of our progression. But I'm not sure how I feel about it, really. 2 months, how's it going? Any luck with the FFX2 save file? I think I have a PM on Twitch about that, actually. I think. Liquid Caribou, I think, sent me a message. Oh, no, I think maybe that was an old one that I looked at. Maybe that was an old one, or that's something completely different. So I'm not sure. But so far, no luck. Nobody has acquired one. A lot of people have tried. I've had like 3 different people try, but they're all getting me story completion, not monster map completion. Somebody did message me on Discord as well and said that if I'm willing to put in a bit more effort, I can like build my own save file, I think, and they sent me a bunch of links, which I haven't clicked yet, and I knew I wouldn't have time to click yet, and I don't know whether I can really go to that. Really, I can't be investing time in that. I need to be making, you know, Guild Wars mysteries and shit like that. I need to prioritize better. I can't just randomly go do a bunch of X2 stuff. Just kind of, if I can get the save file, if I can be super lazy, if someone could put the save file on my plate, I'll do the stream, but otherwise I don't know. I have got those links and I should have a look at them. I'm feeling good. Yes, I got sleep. I got a lot of sleep. I got like 13 14 hours of sleep, or whatever the number is. Anyway, so yeah, Strange Rock is a thing. The other thing is Season 2, but I'm reticent to do Season 2 because not everyone's going to have access to it. It's already a bit cheeky, and will have to be something we'll mention at the end of the challenge, that we're using Bitterfrost Frontier without farming for the 400 gems, right? So that's already a bit cheeky. I'd rather not add a bunch more chapters in. Do you know what I mean? The sub noise makes you jump. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not looking at subs. Thanks for the subs, guys. Angry push-ups, 3 in a row. What a boss. Dog TV, 2 in a row. Well, that was with the save file comment. Requiem 403, 2 in a row. Hello, welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you. Azra subbing for the first time ever. Azra 1810. It's great to see you. Thanks so much, guys, for the support. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Especially since I've been such a bad content creator since Christmas. What happened to the good old days? Yeah, get them priorities straight. Look, it's hard. I had been up for hours and hours and hours and hours. Anyway, all right. So we can't get the ring there. So maybe we'll do a straw poll on it or something. I don't know. Let's do a berry farm. Let's get some progress rolling, shall we? Let's do it. You needed 3 alarms in different parts of the room to wake you up. That's an interesting idea. I was thinking about getting like one of those maths alarms because my endeavour to get the really loud, you know, heart attack alarm clock didn't quite work. All right, well, look, before this becomes some mad, panicked, rushed, crazy thing, I'm just going to take a second to clear the inventory. Since we're level 80 now, right, I'm going to clear the inventory, like, fully clear it, all right? We're going to... I think that this inventory space is sufficient for the rest of the run. I don't think we need to waste any more money on boxes and things, so... I'm gonna clear everything out, even stuff that we might need for Huntsman later, which is how we're gonna be getting our ascended weapon. Unless somebody in Twitch chat over the next like stream or two, 0 to hero stream or 2, unless somebody comes up with a much better, cheaper, alternative way of getting an ascended weapon, this is our technique. We're gonna go the crafting route, which is bizarre to me, but is actually a sign of strong design in my opinion that crafting does still have a place amongst so many other ridiculous places to get stuff. To anyone really seeking to optimize the run watching this and also somehow not doing PvP because maybe the season's not on or something, my recommendation to you would actually be try to LFG raids with only an exotic weapon. Now people might be a bit upset with that, but if you do that and just build yourself some magnetite shards, you can exchange those for your weapons instead and get it a lot cheaper, and you can probably still bypass the crafting process. However, for this, if being absolutely geared out is what's important to you before you start raiding full stop, then maybe you're going to have to follow my route here and do the crafting as well. So we've hit the error there. Really, I just want to go to a vendor, so here. Let's grab this. We're going to sell junk. We're going to sell that. We're going to sell that. We got the exotic, the fragments. I'm going to sell the rune. It doesn't matter. We're going to open these and salvage that stuff down. Now we're going to want another kit, so let's go with... What's the good one? What's the cost-effective one? Let's go Journeyman's, I think, is the cost-effective one. Maybe that's bad. Maybe that's a bad idea. The repair canister we'll seek to use when we can. Salvage the thing that came out of that. Why can't I salvage that? I can't do anything with that because it was a level-up reward. Can I do anything with that? No, it was a level-up reward. Can I do anything with that over there? No, it was level up reward. Is it better than what I've currently got? No, it's not, so we're just going to delete it. That was level up reward. That was a level up reward. I didn't need to buy a thing because I had it there and I'm an idiot. So that's fine. Let's get rid of this. Let's drop some of this down here. Masterwork is for rare, is it? Journeyman's is good for green and blues? Is that the way that it works? And we don't really have many rare things to salvage here anyway, so let's go with that. That we can't do anything with. So we'll grab this ore. Grab these totems. Large bone. I'm trying to be quiet because I can hear my neighbours moving around. And I'm a little bit worried about them being upset that it's late. So, hopefully, it's not that I'm low energy, it's not that I'm sad. Before somebody says that in chat, are you sad, WP? Are you really upset? I'm not upset, okay? Oh god, I just snorted. Basic salvage kit. Okay, basic. You miss one stream and suddenly, yeah, boys, level 75 or something. We're level 80. We're done, man. We're done. We're level 80. We're up there. We're at the end. We're among kings here. Token of affection we don't care about and we can reacquire at some point. We got some more trash there when we opened those boxes, so that's fine. Dragonite ore. Okay, so I'm actually going to keep a stack of this down here, a stack of this down here, because we're not depositing collectibles, and a stack of this down here. So we'll just have to pay attention to that and look at bloodstone bricks when those come in. That spear gun is better than our old one, so let's just equip it before deleting. That dark steel log is better than our logging axe is better. We've got a booster there, which we'll keep. The World vs. World XP booster we don't care about. There's no way to get easy ascended gear from World vs. World, is there? That's not a thing. We're going to get rid of that as well because we don't care about it. We don't care about these griffin things. I don't think I'm ever going to care about them 5 Mystic Forge stones. Don't be mad at me for deleting those, especially not with current events in light. The Obsi shards I think we'll need to save as well for our crafting. That will just pop when we can. The fish dinner's fine. That we'll use in Bitter Frost Frontier. There we go. So our inventory is now clean. We're at 23 gold, plus whatever we claim from the TP. And we're looking good, guys. What if the neighbours are watching your stream and want you to be louder? Plot twist. Well, they're moving around a lot, and I don't know what they could possibly be doing. Considering it's like, you know, coming up on 8:30 at night. But maybe they're like me, and they have messed up sleep schedules as well. 13 mails! Oh, God, let's clear this crap out. We can't accept anything or read any fan mail on this account. Guys, you should never really send fan mail to this account anyway, because, we still have that. Because it's, well, you can send fan mail to this account, actually. It's just I'll very rarely, if ever, look at it. You can get the Bandit Crest Berries Blood Rubies from World vs. World. What, through reward tracks? Reward tracks are desperately slow, though. Maybe if we got participation in World vs. World and then did our crafting while under the effects of the participation. Okay, so we don't actually have the mastery thing done here. You guys are welcome to join on me. As I say, like normal, 2 to 5 other people running around. I'm not going to take that as something run-breaking as we do this. But so basically we're doing a berry farm here, guys. The idea of a berry farm, I'm going to LOS them around here and put them in bombs. Oh, they don't LOS though. They use the good loot. I'm excited about new maps, man. New maps are going to be really interesting. Oh god. What was I going to say? Yeah, so this is Berry Farm. I'm just going to explain to people what the idea of this is. In this map, which you saw me unlock in the last 0 to Hero stream when we hit level 80, there's a vendor, and that vendor will trade these berries, which can only be harvested from this map. Okay, they'll trade berries for all manner of different ascended gear that you can select the stats on. And the stats available is every stat typing from Core and Heart of Thorns, which is totally wildly broken. And Core, by the way, because ArenaNet didn't get their shit together and understand what they were doing with the game for so long, Core actually includes... Wait, what was that? Why did that just swap our entire party? That's weird. Core actually includes the base game, Living World Season 1 sets like Zealots, and Living World Season 2 sets like Sinister, and Sinister is what we care about. So we don't even need Living World Season 2 to do this, or to you know, go into Living World Season 2 maps. Well, actually, we don't need to buy Living World Season 2, do we? We just do Silverweights. You don't need to buy Living World Season 2 to get Silverweight rewards. Right, guys, in chat? So maybe we are okay. Do you have an idea about when you're uploading your video about the guild event on YouTube? Probably a while away, since I've got Cats episode 3 to go up first. And then I've got like 2 different fractal-based videos and build-based videos. And then I've got Guild Wars 2 Mysteries. And then I got something else as well. So probably a while away. Knowing my luck, by the time I even get round to it, they're going to start doing press for the next update or something. You do need to buy it, do I? I do need to buy it to do Living World Season 2 rewards. The rings don't appear at the vendor until you do the story step. Well, there you go. B-boy dropping the knowledge bombs there. Okay, that's good. Alright, so why are we killing these mobs specifically, you might wonder, if we're just going for berries and you harvest berries from the floor like any other gathering thing in Guild Wars 2? Well, you can also get bonus berry rewards almost for free. They have a cost of karma, which we're fine with. And that, we never reset that before we started in the run, did we? But you recoup your costs just doing this anyway. So we can get free berries if we do the hearts. And since we can't use any other characters, the fastest way to acquire berries is to swap from level 80 to level 80 to level 80 to level 80 character. But, so here you see we get some karma here. And we'll get karma for the events that we do as well, like these captors killed, which maybe we'll go over and do. But since we only have 1 character, we can't do that. I'm going to try and get the most berries possible out of the map. Why did I get 2 helmets instead of the full variety of items? Do I have to do the story? That's not right, is it? I don't have to do the story. Let's swap the story back over to a crack in the ice. You should only get exactly what you need to get up to the vendor. Well, that's annoying. Okay, so there's another mechanic there. As you kill mobs here, you're supposed to get items of their armor so you can equip it and then sneak into their base to buy the berries after you finish the heart, which we've now done. But it was really weird with the drops, probably because my story's in a weird place. So I'm just going to ignore that for now, because that's not going to be worth our time. So I'm just going to move along, and we're going to go to the other areas. We're actually going to we're going to skip ahead a fair amount here. I want my kit on. This is really annoying. I'm going to try and blind him. These guys are bitches. If they, yeah, that animation there. You want to dodge? Whew, that was nice. This doesn't even heal me, right? The one.
Nothing can
I suppose we don't have to adhere to the voting anymore with our utility skills, so we'll change that. That was a nice blind there as well. So the thing is, right now, we don't actually have a level 80 gathering tool. We have a level 21. So we want to get a level 81. And I'm actually going to specifically get one from a vendor in the north at the end of a different heart, who will allow us to get extra unbound magic, which is this map's currency and is the other thing we need to buy our ascended gear in addition to berries. So we're going to make a beeline for that, and we're going to try and do this as smartly as possible. There's no point trying to execute the berry run until we have the harvesting things. There we go. So we've got a party now. You don't think it's story related, just sometimes you get really unlucky on the armor pieces? I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of berry farms, and I have never, not once, on characters that have finished the story, at least once in that account, I guess, I have never had 2 of the same thing drop. That's really weird. Except when the patch first came out. So it's either that it was a bug when the patch first came out, and then they fixed it, or it was that story hadn't been done. And considering story, it's long since the patch came out now, I'm going to lean towards the other idea. So here we're in range of a different heart. Again, we're just going to kill stuff to bypass most of the heart's mechanics. But the idea is we're pushing this yellow bar here all the way to the top so that we access vendor wares. And that vendor is going to sell us some 5 free berries to start off with, and then a harvesting sickle. And so that's the starting idea. Do I have unbound magic harvesting unlocked? No, I don't. So that's another thing to get us more unbound magic, yes. And we can get that from a vendor here, I believe. That's the same vendor that gives us the ascended gear, I think. We'll have to check that out. Yeah, or I'm just unlucky. But, you know, it's a toss-up. Am I unlucky, or is it just that? So why don't I just leave it for now, and we'll go back at the end of the run when we push the story a bit further. It's not hard. Potato on a horse, Mounts and Guild Wars 2 confirmed? No, that'll be in a couple of months when they're talking about the next expansion, right? Alright, let's just kill these guys. I feel like we need a bit more condi. I don't know whether we will get interim gear. I think we don't need any interim gear. So the idea of interim gear is actually farming up for cash and things to spend on a complete gear set that is only to support us while we get our raiding stuff. I don't think we need interim gear, because as we build up our raiding trinkets, that's going to help us get more raiding trinkets anyway, which is quite unlike the druid run where we did actually have to farm for interim gear, and that's another nice little speed up from our previous 0 to hero attempt. So there we got an event complete. We get some magic. That's our first magic, 5 of it. There's some berries over there, but we can't claim them just yet. I'm actually probably going to harvest the wood and things as well. Not because we... yeah, because that will help us in Huntsman as well. I think harvesting that wood will be a good idea. I also think maybe on this stream, guys, we should start Huntsman and try to push it as high as we can with our initial funds. Because what that will allow us to do is start crafting the daily time-gated ascended things, which will be beneficial for making our eventual pistol. And for leveling Huntsman all the way up to 500 after we hit the 400 threshold. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about there because you're a bit new to Guild Wars 2, that's fine. It should make sense soon. So we finished that heart now, I think. So we're going to go to a vendor again to buy some sickles. It will cost us karma, but I think we've got enough karma to cover a few. The thing is, we don't want to... I'm going to delete this because I don't really anticipate us going down that much. So I'm just going to get rid of that. The balance here is actually our inventory slots. The balance is actually how many sickles do we want before it's too many. I'm actually going to buy like 2. And then what we'll do for our daily berry run is we're going to unlock a waypoint here. And we're actually going to start the berry run here. And we're going to go counterclockwise to my normal rotation. Which will mean that every day we basically use up our 2 things. And then we replace them right at the start of the following run. So here you see bundle of winter berries, 2k karma, easy.
Respect our authority.
And then down here we've got these unbound harvesting sickles. So I'm going to buy 2. And we're going to now with these be capable of actually grabbing berries on the map. So that's this little area done, and that's pretty nice. Do we care about map completion? I don't think we do. So yeah, we're going to ignore that. It sounds like regardless, we want full Vipers trinkets. Alright, so it doesn't matter about Season 2, so we don't have to worry about that. I feel like the balance is slightly off there. I think we could be in a really interesting build-making position if the stats were handled slightly different. Where it was like, classes that only inflict 2 or 3 different condies care about Sinister, and classes that do 4 or more condies want Vipers. I think that would be a really interesting place to push it in. And that would leave like Necromancers with Epidemic, of course. Wait. Is this level 80? No, that's only level 30. So let's quickly nip over here as well and grab some wood things just to replace. I think that would be a really interesting idea. And you might think, well, WP, there's not even that many offensive conditions, so that would be, you know, the balance is a bit off. But do consider that in future expansions, they're likely to add more offensive conditions. So we're going to grab 2 logging axes as well. That was a mistake. I should have only bought 1. Is this level 80? That's not level 80. And we're actually going to get a mining pick as well. So now we can harvest lots of different things on the map. They're all the max tier potential stuff, well, T5, T6, so we can get a lot of good money off of them, and we can use them in our crafting endeavors. So we're actually going to start saving the wood we get here. I might actually genuinely start using my bank, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that'd be really good, and you'd have like Necros with Epi would always really enjoy Vipers because they get the full Condi range going out. Even Burns if they don't natively, for example, stack them, Doomfire notwithstanding. But I think that would be really nice. Right now, it feels like there's just too much Vipers compared to Sinister, and just the balance is slightly off. Unless, of course, the idea is that expansion-based stat sets are supposed to creep on, power creep on core ones, which I could understand them going that angle.
I like it.
The HUD looks great, not so obstructive. I'm glad everybody likes the HUD. Look, Woody, you smashed it out of the park first time, man. I didn't need to shatter those. I don't know why I did that. Right, so we got to get berries, right? So you're looking at the mini-map now. I'll rotate that to the top for you all. So this is my mini-map. And you see these berries around, yeah? These little red packets, that's what we're going for. So there's one here, there's one here, one here. That's what we're aiming for. I'll leave the mini-map up for you guys. You know what? This, like, swapping of the chat box plus the mini-map is actually really great for streaming. I wonder whether they had that in mind when they allowed us to manipulate that little part of the UI. I'm actually going to turn... So there's also a daily here, which we want to get each day. This is berry acquisition. So that just gives us extra magic and berries. There you go. We just dinged it. So to open my bonus chest here, we get this chest. Opening the chest gives us karma, which funds our funds for other things. Oh, we got Foxfire. Foxfire is worth sweet FA now, though. Have a nice shift at work, Flesh Raw. Have a nice shift. So yeah, this is our primary thing, and this will all make sense to you guys once we've done this first farm, and I go to the central waypoint, or in the middle of this farm actually, and I go to the central waypoint, and you'll see exactly what these berries are for, and why we suddenly, as Guild Wars 2 players, care about berries, and why this is so huge for new people aspiring to raid. And this will be true to life and accurate all the way up until the next expansion, okay? Because so for any raiding content they release, all the raiding content they've currently got released, and until the next expansion comes out, which might be a year to 2 years away, something like that, maybe less than a year, I don't know. This will all be the fastest way to get ready for raiding. The time that changes is when the next expansion comes out, and I say that because in the next expansion they're likely to add new types of stats. So right now we're going for Vipers, which we can get for berries. But let's say the next expansion adds a different stat type and new elite specializations that care about different stat types. And all of a sudden, Vipers might not be exactly what you care about anymore. And in that circumstance, you're not going to be able to get Vipers here anymore, and you'd have to move on. And you know, like if they usurp Berserker trinkets, for example, if they usurp whatever, that would draw a lot of community ire, but they might consider the audience retention they get for that to be worth it. And then they would get rid of it, and then it would be new maps that are gated behind the next expansion and next Living World patches, which would earn them a lot of money. So there's a potential they'll go that route. Again, if they use my idea of specific stats and areas of the game are used for specific expansions and expansion areas, then that's fine. They can get away with it and not piss people off, because Berserkers and Vipers would be forever useful for core plus Heart of Thorns, and the new better than the Berserkers thing would be good for the new maps, but yeah. We'll see. So here we're just grabbing all of these. You often find that when mobs die, when you harvest, mobs spawn at berries. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to our Masteries UI. And I'm not going to train any of this stuff. We don't care about that right now. What I'm actually going to do is go to Ancient Magics, which is related to these patches. And I'm going to start training this. So we get a lot of bonus experience and stuff. We're not actually going for boosted experience. But with this, just through farming berries and stuff, they're going to throw XP at us. And this is basically a zero mechanic. It's a piece of nonsense time gate. It's not an interesting part of the game because they give us so much. And we get XP anyway from gathering. And we get XP anyway from killing the stuff that prevents us from gathering. And we get XP from doing the hearts and stuff. So we're just passively now going to get the mastery for this map, which eventually will allow us to claim Coda's Flame. And it will just help us in our berry runs. So that's another nice little thing that we're going to go ahead and do. We're not going for ascended armor. No. If the detail on the chat or the Twitch stream says I'm going for ascended armor, it's either a really shitty, stupid joke, or it's just a mistake from where that was. We're not going for armor. There's no point in going for armor. Armor you can get if you really care about being max. Listen, let me just do the speech, and this is primarily aimed at new people and people trying to get their first raiding set up and trying to get into the community. Listen, if you think, if you want ascended armor, all right, because you want to be the best, okay, because you want absolutely to be at the max, okay, and I can understand that philosophy. That's fine. I'm not against you on that. I understand that. It makes sense, all right. What you need to understand though, okay, is it shouldn't be a priority for you. I get it, you want to be the max, cool, but you should know that you're not going to experience any difference in the raids whether you have ascended armor. I mean, maybe this is a bit presumptuous of me, but I could probably, in the history of Guild Wars 2, the amount of raid wipes that have happened just because one character in that raid wasn't wearing ascended armor, that it came that down to the wire, I doubt that's ever happened. Maybe there's been one or two across every group that's ever attempted a raid, ever, over the past year since they've existed. I doubt there has been a single encounter failure based purely on the fact that one person on the team didn't have ascended armor when they could have. Even 1% wipes, okay, which can be the difference of like hundreds of thousands of XP on the boss, I seriously doubt are based on that. Raids fail because people don't know the mechanics. Raids fail because people are out of position, or because they're not playing or not focusing on what they should be doing, or their rotation, their skill rotations, they don't know how to actually execute their skills well enough. That is why raids fail. It's not because of ascended armor, okay? And maybe I'm being a little extreme there. Maybe there have been a couple of wipes because of it. And maybe you can't blame one person's ascended armor, but maybe there is a discernible difference between 10 players with versus 10 players without. But still, okay, like it's a really fringe case scenario. So that isn't why you should go for ascended armor. If you want to go for ascended armor just because you want to have the best stuff, I get it, right? And listen to me. When you start raiding, you're going to get magnetite shards. And when you start raiding, you're going to get ascended armor boxes thrown at you for free when you complete encounters. And so I would recommend the alternate philosophy of don't go for ascended armor to start off, just have it as a goal after you've started. Once you're in there, once you're raiding, once you're doing the LFGs, once you're learning the encounters, guess what? You're going to get it so much cheaper and more efficiently because they're just going to give it to you for free every now and then. There's a bit of RNG on there, but still, you're going to get it for free. So there's no reason to do it before you start raiding. Just work on it slowly over time once you're already in there. What's important is ascended trinkets, specifically an ascended amulet, which we're going to get with laurels, which throughout the course of the series we've already built 3. Okay, that's not many. But we're going to get that, okay? Or luck. I don't know. It depends which one comes first. What's important is that, and what's important is a weapon. Because weapons is a more discernible damage increase, and then that helps you with enrages and stuff when your group's bad. And enrage is a thing. Okay? So that's kind of the full ascended armor discussion. Could you going for ascended armor after the 0 to Hero challenge? Would be interested to know what kind of tricks you use to get ascended. But the funny thing is, if you're a veteran player, and if you're an account that has like 100 fractal unlocked, and if you're an account that has, or if you know you're in an embedded raiding community already, ascended armor is just like so easy to get. I don't know. Maybe that would be interesting. maybe. But I think stuff like my account tour shines a bigger light on that kind of stuff than anything else, right? Like, the account tour shows just how many Ascended Armor boxes I've got just from playing the game. So there you go, we've used up one of our sickles. Now we're going to equip the other one, and this will take us through. So here you can see we've already got 35 berries. I'm anticipating by the end of this run we should have around 70 berries. We're going to go back to that Savannah area in a second, and we're going to see if we get a little bit more lucky. To see what you guys say. Maybe I was just
Come on,
crazy
hit
enough.
me. I'll hit back.
But here we're in range of another heart, which I'm going to now go cash in. I've been forgetting as well to get wood. This is my mistake. So here's a cypress sapling. Yes. Oh, great point as well. Great point, Calfalor. Great point. Oh my god. I'll do you one even better on the Ascended Armor thing, okay? When you're in the raids, okay, there's a certain collection you can start working on in this section here called Legendary Armor. So to unlock it, you just have to kill a raiding boss, okay? Once you've killed your first raiding boss in the first raid, this will unlock, and what it will give you is a bunch of objectives based on the new maps, easy objectives based on the new maps and based on the raid. And when you complete those objectives, and they're not that hard, trust me,
Fury is mine.
the devs will straight up give you a full set of Ascended Armor. No RNG, nothing difficult about it. Very small time investment, especially compared to crafting it. They will straight up give you a full set of Ascended Armor. They'll just hand it to you. And it's got unique skin on it as well. Not a very nice looking skin, but it's got a unique skin on it as well. There is no reason to get Ascended Armor before you start raiding. There is zero reason. You would have to be, to take a quote from yesterday's stream, an incredibly asinine person to do that, in my opinion. Now, in times past, maybe there would be more weight on it, but it is just not a respectable goal to go for. If the word efficiency means anything to you, if the idea of being valued for your playtime means anything to you, don't go for Ascended Armor before you start raiding. Yeah, no, I'm talking quietly and calmer today because, again, I'm trying to keep my voice down because of my neighbours. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. We do have an extra event here. There's really no reason for me to do this except the experience and karma that comes from it, but I feel like I should because I don't want to run low on karma while buying harvesting things. So I'm just going to tag that. We don't have to do anything more than tag it, and then we're going to move on. I do like energy.
Come on, hit me.
Someone remind me
I'll
to put
hit
toolkit on at some point. And hey, it gives us heart credit here as well. Indeed, the town core was good for that, but you like knowing which stats, which runes. I have pretty much every single stat set that I could ever care for. There's one stat set I don't, and that's the Valkyrie stat set. And so this is really interesting because this stat set is power, it's ferocity, both incredible stats, and instead of precision, which is what berserkers go for, it actually has vitality on it instead.
Fury is mine.
So for classes, specifically Necromancer and the Power Reaper setup right now, oh god, there's berries up here. It's really cool because those classes, any class that has a lot of traits or significant crit damage through their traits and their skills can actually use Valkyrie to give themselves a ton of free health that makes them just innately more tanky. And then when you have a ton of free health, you can use other foods and things other people don't use to convert that vitality into more ferocity. And so now you're actually on a build that uses cheaper foods because there's less competition in the market for people, that less people are buying it, and you're like ultra healthy while also putting out just as much damage that other people would be, just because you've got all your precision from traits rather than gear. It's really, really cool, and that's kind of the essence of Power Reaper among their rotations and things. It's really, really fun thing to build. The Power Reaper of today, that is. And I don't actually have that stat type because Power Reaper isn't meta anyway. But I think that's really interesting, and Valkyrie does seem pretty fun. That's the only thing I don't have. I have everything else. I have Celestial, I've got, which is the all-rounder, and I've got all the different fucking healing ones, and I only ever really needed one of those. Maybe Sentinels is another thing I kind of want to go for, but I focus on light armor, not heavy armor. And I would want Sentinels purely for the joy of having the most vitality you can get on all of Guild Wars 2. So Sentinels is vitality main, and then power and toughness. It's a very tanky set. It's like Soldiers, which is like the classic tanky set. I thought I'd finished the heart. That was a bit stupid. Now, the reason that this is related to heavy armor is because the warrior profession has a trait that...
Oh, Boo, this one is so sweet.
There we go. We're going to listen to that quagging in a second. Because the warrior profession has a trait that converts power into vitality. So, and you get power from sentinels. So a sentinel's warrior that runs a bunch of specific shit is theoretically the highest vitality you can get in the game. You can get up to like 40,000 health or something absurd. Maybe it was 60,000. I can't remember anymore. But, so a full ascended set of sentinels would be nice. But again, that's heavy, not light. And I focus on light. So, well, there we go.
You don't have to thank Quaggin. Quaggin takes care of the baby griffins because it's fun. Have you seen them? Adorable.
So somebody asked, have I played any Cherokee asked, have I played any Overwatch? It's got some great lore. It's curious to me because a game like that I wouldn't expect to have good lore. I haven't played it, and I am interested for a few reasons actually. I'm quite interested in how well Overwatch does deliver its lore. It's been something that's been on my mind quite a lot the past, I don't know, 4 months or so. And a lot of people play it as well. That game, I don't know whether it's just fucking Blizzard. Blizzard gets such a free ride with their games, but their games are always really high quality and well polished. And so, who am I to bitch?
On,
But Blizzard
I'll
like
hit
have such
back.
an insanely huge embedded audience. It seems like they cannot fail. Do you know what I mean? Like they cannot fail, no matter what they do. It's insane.
The spirits should be impressed.
It's not really subtle. It's more of a an observation. Overwatch and good luck. B-boy, can you stop all capsing in chat, man? Like, there is no need to all caps. You do it, like, constantly. We see your comment anyway. Guys, I don't have the expansion pack. What is not too bad profession for you? I'll tell you what you can do in PvP. If you want to get platinum in PvP this season, you want to get a ton of loot, alright?
I'll hit back.
You should play core Ellie and run Condi. Hell yeah. Every Condi Ellie tries to go Tempest, and it's just bad for that role. It's just bad. Blizz still not as bad as Nintendo. They can release any old shit and their fans will say 10 out of 10. Actually, I disagree with you. Look at the reaction to the Switch. Look at the reaction. You know, there's a lot of like concern there. And Nintendo doesn't get a free pass on everything. Like, people are very quick to criticize their sales and stuff. Specifically, people love to criticize the Japanese culture of video game development and their unremitting, unremitting's not the right word, and their lack of, their absolute disdain for foreign markets. Like, they don't care what anyone else is saying. They're just like, yeah, this is what we do. We're gonna have crappy online infrastructure for years and years and years, and you can go fuck yourself with Nintendo. Like, the one thing that I found really interesting about the Switch is, have you guys heard this? This story about, this story about how they're charging you for online now, and they deliver it through a third-party app on your phone. When you could just get the Discord app or something on your phone, or a Skype on your phone, and you could do it there. And they got the ball. I mean, that is seriously, if that's not dumping your huge cock on the table and saying, screw you, I'm the big boss, I don't know what is. That's mental, that's the way that they've set up their online stuff with the Switch. I'm really curious about that. But yeah, there's a lot of hate thrown at Nintendo. Blizzard are in this really luxurious, wonderful position where they've got like this huge audience that will play any game they make. They make the game good enough that people will really enjoy it. But also, when it comes to their communities, people are also incredibly jaded, and they're just like, well, I don't know, everybody seems to love the Overwatch team.
Come on, hit me. I'll hit back.
There's kind of this accepted opinion that Blizzard doesn't care about what you have to say, but it doesn't put people off. If that makes sense. Alright, so guys, back to the discussion here. I was trying to get map completion stuff and I don't know why. This is the vendor. This is where the magic happens. Oh, Unbound Magic Gatherer. That's not the vendor.
Hello.
Or is that the vendor? That is the vendor, isn't it? So I guess we have to get this first.
How do you do?
Before the rest of the wares unlock. Is that true? So, this you can actually get for free on the first map, but we haven't done the story to try and go to Bloodstone Fen. We're ignoring that. So 5 gold upfront costs, which I hadn't seen before, will now let us gather magic as we explore. Okay? So, did I buy that there? I did buy that, didn't I? Did I buy that? Didn't we have 30?
Odo's blessings upon you.
I don't understand what just happened there. Oh, there we go. We did buy it. Okay, we just had to open again. So here's where the magic happens. Now that we've bought that, we've paid our 5 gold entry fee. These are the items we're looking for. We want 1 black ice earring, which costs 300 berries plus 4,000 magic. We want 1 ice brewed horn backpack, 400 berries, 5,000 magic. And we want 1 black ice band, 200 berries, 2,000 magic. This band, we could buy 2 in theory and equip 2, but you'll see there that it says unique. So the fact that it's unique means we can only equip 1. That is it at the same time. We may be able to bypass that by infusing or tuning 1, and I will defer to chat on that. But we don't have to worry about that for a while anyway. We're just going to get 1 of each of these. So you see how the accessory also says unique. So we need a second accessory, which I think we're going to have to get from the other map, which you saw we went for in another stream. So we need magic and we need berries. The magic comes as we gather berries. So I think that the magic will probably be a non-mechanic, but we'll see. The other stuff we don't care about. This is what we want. These pieces of gear here represent this selection over here. And these are a significant stat boost over their exotic equivalents. So we'll be going for those, okay? And the other 2 slots that we're seeking to fill before we can raid are these 2 here. We're going to replace these 2 exotic pistols, or this exotic and this rare one, for ascended ones. So, with all of that said, and with the main waypoint unlocked, we're now going to continue our berry run by moving to the south and grabbing a couple more hearts, which represents even more stuff. So here we've got daily torch in the ice, which is good. We're going to swim through the lake here. Now that we've bought that thing for 5 gold, by the way, around the map you'll find these little blue orbs. Like there's one over there. It's too out of my way, so I'm not going to go for it. But there's little blue orbs. Often a lot of them spawn underwater. And by swimming into those, we get even more magic. So yeah, but the attune/infuse trick does work even for the newest rings, does it? I'm a bit scared that they're going to nerf that, because that's obviously a stupid thing that they don't want to be happening, and I'm wondering whether it's smart to do stream sharing that. So here we've got a chest. Eventually we'll be able to open those once we've finished our mastery, which, as you can see from the bottom of the stream already, is 50% done. Don't you already have some trinkets using laurels? No, because I've only got 3 laurels. I think we might have spent too many maybe getting the XP boosters to get to level 80. Maybe that was a bad investment of our time and funds. Maybe what we should have done instead is level through crafting, which we have to do anyway, and save the laurels for something else. So anyway, we're going to go through here. We're going to dodge that because that can hurt, I think. We're going to blind him when he attacks again. We're going to get more replacement blinds with the smoke bomb.
Come on, hit me. I'll hit back.
We're going to make sure we're point blank melee for the blowtorch, and he's going to die. I'm going to use glue there because I like the glue, not because it does any damage. We're going to go poison with our mortar. My big old bomb knocked them out. That was stupid. So it's 900 berries. How many can you gather per day? I'm expecting to gather around 70 to 100 every day. But it depends on our playtime. We are only playing 2 hours a day. And it depends on that. So, we need 3 frozen exotic weapon fragments to grab one of those. If we get insanely lucky with that, 0 to hero would end right there. Because if we got insanely lucky with that, we could have... oh no, it wouldn't end right there. I'm lying to you. If we got insanely lucky with that, we could get a precursor, we could sell it, and we could have our weapons done straight away at the very least. We could get one of the rings with a strange rock as well. Even so, it may not just be a priority. It could be on the ArenaNet radar to change later. But I mean, that's been a thing for ages. I remember years ago when I did when I first got all my +5 power things. I remember Nike left. I think it was Nike left a message on my video saying, "Hey, yeah, you can do this. You can attune one, and you can." Or maybe I already knew it on the video. I can't remember. Actually, I think what he mentioned was something else. Anyway, it was at least that long ago. It's been there for ages. The thing is, ArenaNet are just terrible with. Oh look, this defense event is actually succeeding? Question mark? No way. Well, we can try. So this is another heart that we're going for. I'm actually thinking of just deliberately letting this fail. I don't think we're gonna have enough players to let it succeed. We might. It's just us. It's just our little party here. We're gonna try and defend. This will push our heart up. But if we let it fail, in the meantime, we can go gather magic from a nearby area. What's this? Heated rocks. We can throw them in the water to keep the temperature up. That's an interesting thing. I love this defense. Everything about this I think was designed really well. So Throw the heated rocks in to keep the temperature high while the next wave spawns. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. But yeah, it's just been so long, and Arena Net are really bad with Ascended gear. Look at the new batch of PvP-based Ascended trinkets. They forgot to let you attune or infuse them at all. One of them, you can only, like, the ring you can only attune once. The icon for it is broken if you select the wrong type of stat. The armor didn't even have infusion slots on it initially. They're just awful. Like, it's because it's a very convoluted type of gear and there's a lot of different mechanisms to it. And all of their developers clearly don't know. The people who put that in the game clearly don't play Fractals. They clearly don't understand the product, and yet they're developing for it. And it upsets me, but
Nothing will
you know,
break.
it's
That's
such a
how I
diverse
do it.
product. So I just think that I don't know whether they are aware of it. I don't know whether the right people are aware of it. That's the point. Do you have a favourite dragon, WP? If so, who is it? Why? I think right now my favourite dragon is probably the deep sea dragon, because the idea of massive, you know, titanic creatures in the depths, and that really keys into an element of horror and fear that really speaks to me. I've always been a big fan of that kind of horror. The fear of the unknown, particularly, is obviously a strong theme with it. And now they haven't really done much to make him seem scary. And a lot of ways, I'm sort of disappointed in the Deep Dragon that, you know, 4.5 years after the release of the game, we've still really not heard anything about him. And if anything, the movement of the world, which came out long before the game even came out, taught us the most about him. But I think that he has the most potential still. He's the one that He's the one that has the most solid excuse for having been sitting around doing nothing for 4.5 years. Because the oceans are just that huge. And I think they've got some interesting places they could take that story. I think my least favourite dragon is Jormag. There is absolutely nothing redeemable or interesting about Jormag. Nothing. And so I'm very interested in what they do with Jormag. But I mean, really now, Jormag's just not that interesting. So we've got to defend for another 2 minutes here, so we can relax a little bit. So I think that's my favourite dragon. Maybe, though, by the way, maybe that's a lie, and maybe my favourite is Primordus. Primordus is just in a cool position. He's in such a cool position to be set up as the strongest. If the story here just turns out Primordus melts Jormag's face off and gains all of his power, in addition to all the other lore about Primordus, I think Primordus is a very, very cool candidate for being the last, the biggest, the best, and that's very exciting. And Kraukatorik's kind of in the middle of the road for me. Kraukatorik's got some good story. There's good character ties to him in the way of, you know, the remains of Destiny's Edge, and Glint, and Gleam, and Aureen. So Kraukatorik's in a cool place, and Kraukatorik is in a really cool location as well. So Kraukatorik's kind of up there. So again, we're killing the waves, but we're going to keep throwing these rocks in to keep the water temperature high. If the water temperature drops to 0, then this is a failure, and the ice brood will win. The only thing interesting about Jormag is that you got a bunch of Norn to willingly give themselves over to him. Shame the Norn haven't been developed more. Yeah, and the Nightmare Court were almost like that, but then they were more about freedom, and Heart of Thorns could have gone more into the difference between the Nightmare Court's perspective versus the Sons of Svanir perspective. It's like the Sons of Svanir are what the Nightmare Court would have been if the Sylvari had always known about Morgemorth, almost. But there's a very core difference between the two, in that the Nightmare Court just wanted freedom, and they didn't want a master, while the Sons of Svanir did, which is, what you got to understand, right, is the Norn are supposed to be very independent, and they're supposed to be very individualistic and nomadic.
Come on,
and
hit me. I'll hit back.
and so the Sons of Svanir are interesting because they're the opposite of that. They seek a master. They seek to band together under one banner. They are grouping, and that is very counter to the rest of their people. And then the Sylvari and the Nightmare Court are the complete opposite. All Sylvari are grouped under the Pale Tree, and they're all together, and they have this, you know, psychic, empathetic bond with one another. But then you have the Nightmare Court, who seek the opposite, and they just seek freedom. Of course, the most extreme version of what the Nightmare Court are the Soundless. Because the Nightmare Court still kind of band together in one respect, and that's under Nightmare. Oh, Heart of Thorns should have dealt with it a lot better. Not one little crappy line from Foul Lane right before Act 2. Sad, sad, sad.
I can't do this alone.
Alright, so we've got Vista over there. We got 5 more berries from that, which is nice. We got some wood, so let's grab the wood. What's our axe at? It's at half. Any news leaks on the expansion this year? You kind of stopped playing the game? What do you mean? Are you asking if there has been any news from or leaks because of since 2017 started? In which case, no. Or do you mean this year as in you're suggesting that the expansion comes out this year? In which case, that's not for sure. And the most recent leak was really
Healing here.
a screenshot of a location in the Crystal Desert that we saw in Guild Wars 1, plus some text accompanying it, which may have some validity, considering it's all from the same source.
Nothing can bring
and
me
the biggest
down.
ArenaNet mess up was the existence of the Junundu coming into Guild Wars 2, accidentally. You're sad they never did anything with the Soundless? There is a short story on the website about the Soundless, which I've not actually read out on my videos. I feel really bad. I spent so long begging ArenaNet, basically. Please do the stories again. Please do the stories again. And then I've not even kept up with the people and things. Oh, well. You forgot the Soundless were a thing? Man, you wish that was brought up as well. I think the Soundless
Come
have
on,
had,
hit
like,
me.
minor
I'll hit
reference.
back.
But, you know, that's not enough, is it, really?
A fitting reward.
Seemed like a comparison begging to be made. You have the spring versus winter thing. Wait, where's that? The spring versus winter thing? Mithril, fine, we'll go for as well. So we got a bunch of stuff starting to build up. Maybe we do want bigger bags. I don't know. It's just not worth the money. We just have to play that a little bit more carefully. So we're going to go into this thermal tube. Oh, we don't have the mastery, right? This was a waste. Silly me. I was expected to go up there and grab that magic, but we don't have the mastery. Okay, so let's move on.
Come on,
we're now going to
hit
go
me.
slightly
I'll hit
north and
back.
get a couple more berries. And you see we're at 60, and I said I was anticipating to be at 70 to 100. That's because I'm actually hoping to grab some icebound chests. Maybe this first run we do won't be good enough. But if we get about 100 on each farm, that's only, you know, 7 0 to hero streams. The berry farms are required. We're missing 5 because of the Sons of Svanea, as you guys will rightly remember from the start, which we'll return to in a moment. Any idea when the Living World episode will hit? Maybe the end of this month. Sorry, it's January still. Maybe the end of this month. I don't know. There was a very short press release cycle thing for Cracking the Ice, right? Like they were like, yeah, Cracking the Ice, it's coming in a week, and that was basically what it was, right? So maybe the end of this month, maybe the end of next month. My money's on the end of next month. If they got it out between now, the Lunar New Year, and Super Adventure Box, that's pretty epic, to be honest. I think that's pretty cool. You get like the snobby veteran players who are like, it's fake content, it's not real, blah blah blah. But I think there's a lot of new players who will have enjoyed Winter's Day and will have enjoyed Halloween and will have enjoyed the Lunar New Year enough that at least we've got something, right? You know, at least it's not like a straight up content drought like we had before. Considering it's been 2 months since episode 3, do you think there's a good chance that a trailer will release Tuesday, or did Winter's Day push the schedule back a bit? I sort of hope that Winter's Day pushed the schedule back, because
Come on, hit me.
if they do
I'll
a
hit
trailer,
back.
I'm so not ready for it in terms of all the videos I want to put up online. Of all this other stuff. Cats 3 and blah blah blah. But hey, that's a bit of a selfish thing to think. Alright, so we're actually in the event now, and Jormag's champions have spawned. So we're actually going to run this. So this is not typically part of any kind of berry farm, but I think this is good experience. I think this is good loot, and I think that this is probably a worthwhile thing to spend our time on. So, what should I do? Should I save my T5s? Is that smart? I don't know what I should do. I don't know how I'm handling my inventory. Should I just save my T6s? That should definitely go down there. I might just vendor this for the free gold. It's so unlikely that I'll get anything good. That ruby crystal isn't going to be necessary for anything, so we'll just get rid of that.
I'm coming for you.
Salvage. Again.
Close to dying.
Had enough?
Let's get rid of that. I know it looks like, according to my skill bar, I'm playing badly, but we've already qualified for the tag, so it's fine. Stacking bleeds on the autos is okay. Why is he aggro on me?
Oh, thank you.
Leaks we're not going to care about. Icy stones will be sold. Should I just drop all the T5s down at the bottom? Wood especially we're going to be gathering and building up. That extra helmet I'm not going to need. I don't care about, so I'm going to delete it. That logging axe is fine. In fact, there's more logs that we can go get just to the north side, eh? The leather is something we want to... Oh, leather actually we can sell. Leather's not used in any Huntsman stuff, so leather's good. Leather we can get rid of. And that's a lot of money too. That's like a gold straight there, almost, just shy of. That's light, so we'll get rid of that. And I'm opting to sell so that we can later buy the Ecto. Look at Fox Fly.
Might makes me right.
The ancient bone. Yeah, let's just sell. We're gonna sell this stuff. Rare focus. Alright, there we go. So that griffin's about to die.
I'm unstoppable.
What? We only got silver?
The end is
I know we were only autoing after a while, but holy crap. Alright, so that's him dead. 3 champions dead. Now we're gonna nip on over to the next area. Yeah, we don't care about armor. Well, oh, we do need to get our first set of armor. Our first set of armor... Oh, yeah, I haven't even really thought about this. What do we do for our first set of exotic armor? Huntsman does use leather for bows. You're right, actually. But we don't care about that, so again, that's fine. We don't need a bow. I'm going to put toolkit on, finally. Probably over the elixir. I don't know whether we'll get to this boss in time. We'll try.
Come on, hit me. I'll hit back.
WP non-expansion warrior build. You said sentinels, right? Oh god, no. That's just for funsies for me. That's just for funsies. No, you just run berserker. Just run berserker with a non-expansion warrior build. If stat typing is what you care about, do that.
Spirits should be impressed.
There's no such thing as vitality tanking in Guild Wars 2, and there's no such thing. Even if there was, there's no such thing as. It would never be a mechanic that would ask you to min-max vitality. I would love them to do a mechanic that asks you to min-max vitality, however that would be. But even toughness tanking doesn't ask you to min-max toughness. And again, it would be great if it did.
Bring me down.
But there is no such thing right now. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's one of the top priorities that ArenaNet should be looking at. They should be encouraging the min-maxing of stat types that aren't
Fury
power.
is mine.
Or comedy damage and expertise. And I suppose precision to a lesser extent. So look all this XP we're getting, which is very nice. Let's move on over this way towards the forest. Well, I'm going to bed. Wish me luck with your exam tomorrow, please, and catch you again next week. Good luck on your exam, whatever it is, man. I hope you've revised a lot.
Hit me.
My
I'll
advice, write the answers on your arm. Good luck. But it's all basically the same thing, okay? It's preparing for the test. Just like revision is preparing for the test. Knowing the information in your head is almost the same as knowing it on your arm. Learning the content, that's cheating. It's just, you know, splitting hairs. Alright. What that there is, I'm stealing from a wonderful show called Home Movies, in which Coach McGurk offers that wonderful nugget of advice to people. What a great show. So we'll kill this guy. An amulet. It's better than our old one, so we'll equip that in a minute. We'll not equip stuff in combat. Did you fail your exams, WP, for that reason? No, I didn't get caught. No, I never cheated in exams. You know what though? I do look back. I was so stressed out during my GCSEs and my A-levels. Such a stressful period of time. So stressful.
Defense.
And looking at it now, it's like. I mean, I appreciate the character building it did for me, but that's the only value I really appreciate. What it gave me on paper doesn't even matter. What font do I use for my thumbnails? Hey, yeah, I saw your comment on the last stream after I was done. I'm sorry that I missed it. I use the Angry Birds font. Actually, it's an ambition of mine. I would love to have a special Wooden Potatoes font, like for my own brand kind of thing. And I'd love it to be a slight tweak on the Angry Birds thing. But there was another font I used for a very short period of time that I found, like a fan font on defont.com, not made specifically for me, that I used to use on my thumbnails back when I was originally playing around with them. And I actually think these days I prefer that to the Angry Birds font. But yeah, I use Angry Birds, like an imitation of Angry Birds. Yeah, the mobile video game. It was just kind of that right mix of, I don't know, kooky but legible, Comic Sans, but not Comic Sans kind of thing. But I actually think it's not. I don't know whether I prefer it anymore. Yeah, but that's Angry Birds. That's what I use. I don't think it's not official or anything. It's just what someone's made to look
Come on,
like Angry
hit
Birds.
me.
I don't think
I'll
there's
hit
like any
back.
copyright issue or anything.
Nothing can bring me down.
I forgot to equip my amulet. What do you think happened to Zodra and Logan after Bitter Harvest? I hope we see them healthy and alive, but nothing has told us about them yet. I'm wondering if they're just saving them for the next expansion or something. I don't know. I don't know how you find that balance. It's one of those weird things about the story that I'm not actually angry about though. Like there's some things that I'm mad at that never manifested, and I think it's just totally wild and ridiculous that they never manifested in the story and still continue not to. But when it comes to Living World and appreciating that, the scope it has to be smaller. The number of stories they can do is going to be limited. You look at A Crack in the Ice and you look that they tried to go that, even with A Crack in the Ice, they're clearly stretched and they're struggling with some of the instances that they're doing. I'm not actually mad that those two haven't reappeared, right? I'm not. I don't know what I was trying to say. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too sad if they waited until a full-on expansion. I'm particularly mad with a lot of Heart of Thorn stuff because I feel like you're selling people a 50 quid product. Get
Seriously.
the stories in the product, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway. It's consumer entitlement on quite a few levels that I'm expressing. So anyway, just completing this meta is going to unlock a bunch of chests that I do hope to collect. The problem is we need to do our mastery before we can get the torches, so we're just going to have to follow other players who are around and hope that that's good enough and we can grab their chests. And that will be the extra berries, the extra, few berries that we care about on top of the rest. But we will be leaving Bitterfrost Frontier very shortly to go level our Huntsman. That's going to be another little thing that we do. Once we've got our daily rewards, generally it's not too important to stay on this map. Just earn a bit of gold from grabbing the other things. Did I unlock Masteries before going to Bitterfrost Frontier? No, you can't. You have to start one of these things. Bye WP, I'm getting some tacos. You spelt buy wrong, Glassy Ducky. Bye. It's a 3-letter word, you got it wrong.
Do you need my help?
Oh, I love being some kind of weird grammar Nazi snob guy. Jesus, only bronze. That really shows how little we contribute to a lot of this stuff. And there you go, the storm is clearing. So, see this guy with the apple? He grabbed a torch, and the fact he's got an apple, I hope, means he's actually doing a chest run. So we're gonna follow him around, and we're gonna do this with him. Salvage a bunch more. Did we salvage that amulet there? We did. Shit. Is he doing it? The storm is clearing. Here we go. All right, so the chests have begun. So we're actually going to grab as many of these as possible. This is going to be a bit of an issue, though, trading post-wise. So I'm going to have to find some way of holding my UI that allows us to grab chests as we go. I don't know what I'm doing. What kind of material should I be selling? That's not even being bought. Greens and blues I can just salvage. Leather we can sell, so let's run leather. I should be eating food as well. Let's grab the food there. This is another defense. We didn't really want to do that. We wanted to get the chest. I guess this is worth doing, this defense. There's a Zerk ring there, which we can equip instead of this crappy old thing that we started the game with. Get rid of. I know we're doing Condi mostly because we're on pistol at the moment, but still, that's alright. Every little helps. We're gonna need another salvage kit as well. We already ran out of the old salvage kit. I think we have. The champ boxes are pretty bad.
I need healing. Seriously.
I don't need leather to level Huntsman, do I? And if I did, not the T6
Nothing
stuff.
can bring me down.
I'm not sure what we're doing for armor at the moment, actually. I'm not sure. Maybe,
The end is here.
maybe some kind of... I don't know. I don't know what to do with that armor. Regular armor, exotic armor. There's got to be some easy way to do it. You just have to figure that out. Alright, well look. I'm not sure I really want to stay doing this defense. This is going to take a while. I mean, we're getting good loot, but I think it's going to take a while. Let's quickly try and get our last 5 berries from the Svanir section. And we'll see what we got from there. As long as ArenaNet meets profit targets, I don't think NCSoft would care too much. Yeah, I have to say, it has always seemed like a fairly nice relationship they've had, the two people. Why does it keep giving me unidentified lodestones? I don't actually want it. I think what bugs me both about ArenaNet's romance is that I feel they're artificially manufactured in a way that makes it too obvious. Question of emotion, I suppose. Yeah, I know what you mean. You can tell that that someone came up with it in a writing room rather than it just being the logical development of characters, right? Like, and that's what always got me about the Casimir and Marjorie thing. It always felt very, 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 very much, and it's a very snobby thing to say, but it very much felt to me like it was a thing they put in there because writers wanted it there because they wanted their game to represent, you know, that kind of sexuality, or they wanted to be cutting edge somehow, and they wanted to be notable for something. It really had nothing to do with who Marjorie and Casimir were as characters, and there really wasn't much of a real wind-up to it. I specifically remember before Marjorie and Casimir's kiss at the end of season 1, it was like a joke in the community. It was like a fan. It was like, and it was treated really offhandedly and really, and that's not a good thing. It's not like that subtlety served the narrative in any way. It's not like, oh look, there was this small thing that ended up coming true. You know, Casimir was originally introduced as just a random NPC in a bikini, right? That like had a jokey mini that people could get, and you could have a laugh about how Farron was so much cheaper on the TP just because he wasn't a naked lady, while Casimir was, right? Like, it was really that level. It was not handled very well, and then it was like, oh, we got an opportunity here to, and that's what upset me. You know, and I think that's what would probably upset most people. I think a lot of people who expressed disinterest or upset at that development in the plot were unfairly dismissed as just somehow being prudish or uninterested, or, you know, resistant to the fact it was a lesbian relationship, which is complete bullshit. I think that, you know, there are very few people who fundamentally disagree. You know, they're so, you know, crazy conservative right wing or whatever they don't care. They're like, oh, I cannot have a lesbian relationship in a video game that I'm playing. I think there's a very, very, very slim margin of people who cared about that. To me, it was the reality of how that relationship had actually formed and how artificial it looked. That was always my... You can actually listen to one of the old Visualwood podcasts where it happened, where I was talking to Matt about it. That was what always upset me about it. I will say, on the other hand, though, that since its inception, I actually think the relationship's been handled really well, in that it's not been stupidly in our face all the time, that the devs haven't been scared to, you know, move Marjorie and Casimir into different places as characters. There hasn't been cheaply utilized for some blunt drama. I've enjoyed a lot of that stuff, so I think since that it's been okay. Why are we getting these, man? Alright, I'm gonna have to go take that to Ella McKay. Storytelling was always terrible, so it didn't stand out to you. Yeah, moment-to-moment storytelling, I think, has always suffered a bit, but there are different reasons for its suffering. Quite often, Guild Wars has had great world building, okay, and really great lore and exciting settings and histories, right? But its moment-to-moment storytelling has suffered. But the thing is, not usually, the moment-to-moment storytelling has suffered because of technical reasons, because they can only do certain amounts of voice acting, because they can only transfer so much through NPC dialogue, because they can only do so much environmental storytelling, because their cutscenes are very limited in what they can... and that's why their storytelling is through Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 struggled, right? That's why. It's different when it's struggled because... And you can clearly tell because of the writing room itself. You know, like fundamentally, even if the moment-to-moment storytelling was not handled very well, like if you go back and watch the cutscene in Guild Wars 1 where Rurik dies at the Frost Gate, right? It's really crappy. It's terrible. It's not very good. But the story they're telling itself is awesome. I really like how tragically he dies there and how offhandedly he dies in a civil war that has nothing to do with his pilgrimage. I really like that fundamental idea there that shows kind of the brutality of the setting and really set up the tone of what Guild Wars 1 was. I think that's great. From the writing room, it was excellent moments. It was excellent, but the cutscene itself was crap and offhanded and whatever. The Madre Casimir thing, it upsets me on a different level because it just, you could feel how artificial that was. Do you know what I mean? Maybe this is all bullshit. Maybe the Rurik death is artificial and crap too, right? Like, let's be objective about it right now. It's just to drum up a bit of drama, right? And an excuse to move the story away to something else. A lot of Prophecies was crap, in all honesty. It was just an excuse for a world tour. And it really, really was. The fact, maybe it's a good sign, the fact that Guild Wars 2's story is able to tackle topics such as the sexuality of its main characters. Prophecies could never, Prophecies dealing with Prince Rurik's bisexuality. It's just different levels. It could never do that. And so from that perspective, maybe you could say Guild Wars 2 storytelling is, several tiers better. But yeah. Very complicated, and that's why people were paid to create this stuff for us. Because for as much as I can criticize and analyze and discuss, I doubt I could do any better. Alright, so there you go. So we got the chest, the legs, and the helmet now. Alright, maybe I was just unlucky. Thanks for that, guys. We also finished the mastery here, so let's buy ancient magics there. We got counter magic. We're going for Coda's Flame, which is the third. So it is worth still buying our foodie things here. All those sets of light ascended gear and yet no Mesmer tank gear, DPS or heal. Have you Mesmer tanked at all? I do have a set of commanders, and I have a full set of minstrels. It's just the runes aren't set up on them. But yeah, I haven't really played Mesmer. I haven't, which is a big regret of mine because it looks fun. I particularly really want to Mesmer at both Zera and at VG because I think it's a whole other side of the encounters to pull people around. I think it looks like a really fun role to play. Much more fun than the shitty Condi Necro that I currently play most of the time. I'm actually going to use this opportunity while we're invulnerable to come up and grab this Vista just because XP, why not? And then we're going to go to Huntsman, guys. And we're going to figure out what the hell we're doing there. We got 29 gold to spend, and I'm pretty sure 29 gold will cover us all the way up to 400. So we're going to do that on this stream. And the XP will go towards our mastery as well, right? Won't it? So that's good. But yeah, so Necro and Ellie are really the two that I've played most of. I experiment with gear sets more in fractals than I do in raids. Just because my current raiding static, they're great guys and we're slowly getting to know each other a bit, but I spend so little time with them. I meet them like once a week and that's it. We get the clears and stuff, but I'm not in a position to compromise the quality of the run or the smoothness of the run by saying, hey, can I play a role I've never played before and understand but nothing of, or by making suggestions on comp changes and stuff. Like, I let them do that. I take a much more of a backseat, which in a lot of ways I quite enjoy. But yeah, so I'm really not in a position to start.
I'll hit back.
The claim was that Prophecies couldn't have dealt with Rurik as a bisexual character, but there was no theme in Guild Wars 2 that suggested ArenaNet could have done any differently. No, but in terms of the cutscenes and the dialogue presentation, and in terms of the quantity of dialogue that you got from the main characters and the amount of time you spent with the main characters, and in terms of their release schedules of pushing story outside of just major releases, such as we saw in Guild Wars 1, I think all of those allowed more space for Guild Wars 2 to deal with more interesting themes. Not necessarily just this theme of, two of these characters turning out to be lesbian, but any kind of deeper theme and, greater idea that goes beyond just the main idea of what the narrative is trying to tell. I think Guild Wars 2 does have more space to talk about those things, definitely. Alright, so we're going to Huntsman. And we're going to learn to be a Huntsman. And what I'm going to do very quickly here, guys, is I'm going to go to Character Select. And I'm actually going to... I'm going to go to Guild Wars 2 Crafts, and I'm going to deal with it there. That's my point. From a technical standpoint and from a delivery standpoint, I think Guild Wars 2 was much more capable to do it. I think if there was a scene with Rurik where Rurik randomly kissed a guy, it would have felt even worse in Guild Wars 1 and even more out of the blue, just because they had less space to do complementary storylines, right? Like, everything we know about Rurik funds the story of Rurik, right? We don't get insights into his personal life. We don't get insights into who he was when we're not within the scope of the throne or the Char invasion. We don't get that stuff because they never had the space to do that. With Lady Casimir and Marjorie, they are heroes that were fighting against the machinations of Scarlet and defending Lion's Arch, and that was the main story, but it had the space to also deal with their personal lives a little bit, which made that, in theory, would have made that final fight all the more impactful when one of them's injured and so on. In theory. It raises the stakes if you can deal with a little bit more. Okay, WP gets some crafting boost. That's a great idea. Okay, so before we go to Guild Wars 2 Crafts and figure that out, let's quickly nip to the guild hall and get a crafting boost there. I'm not sure it's worth spending laurels on other crafting boosts, other forms of crafting boost. And we don't have any in our inventory, so unless somebody's got a better way of doing that for me, I think that this is all we're going to get, 10%. What do you mean? Go back and watch the Living World Season 1 cutscenes. It was built up throughout. I don't think it was built up very well. Maybe I should go back and watch. Maybe I should update my opinion. But my impression as a player at the time, and my lasting impression, was that it was not set up very well at all. And the kiss was far too impromptu for my tastes. Dealing with Rurik Althea wasn't dealing with Rurik's personal life. To an extent it was, but the scope of that story with Althea is exactly what I'm talking about. We're dealing with the throne, actually, there. And we're talking about the marriage. Well, I don't know. That was more of a subtle story in the background. But yeah, I still firmly believe that was not 100% about his personal life. We never had a scene... not gathering, sorry. Guild crafting boost. So... We never had a scene where Rurik and Althea were canoodling and holding hands or whatever, right? We never saw the first time she fluttered her eyes at him and his heart skipped a beat. We never saw any of that crap. We heard the facts about what happened on the fallout of it. But looking at Guild Wars 1 Quest compared to looking at the presentation of Living World Season 1, as bad as Living World Season 1 was, the presentation in Guild Wars 2 is miles better in a lot of ways. It's just... I don't know. I really need to think more about my opinion on this. It's very hard. In a lot of ways, I prefer the presentation in Guild Wars 1. Anyway, there we go Huntsman. All right. What am I doing here? All right, we got Huntsman. Guild Wars 2 Crafts. Sorry, guys, I can't really talk about the story here. We're gonna have to figure this out. Guild Wars 2 Crafts. Okay. Normal guide or a fast guide? I guess the fast guides are cheap, and the normal guide is. Okay, expected final cost. It's going to cost us about 33 gold to do this. Okay, so let's check our money right now. Where did you see the two? Did you see the 2-hour Living World recap where Matt narrated a part? Yeah, I'm in the later version of it as well, actually, now. We talked about that on a previous stream. But that was all old content. Okay, we have 29 gold. We don't actually have enough for this right now. But if we claim from the TP, we've got 2. Let's sell items.
Excelsior.
Sell that.
How were your endeavors progressing?
We're not going to need wool for Huntsman. Iron, I think we will need. We'll sell these T5s. We'll sell these large fangs. The leather, I'm just going to sell through. I might regret selling this leather because... Again, if bowstrings are a part of the... which they probably are, because we're going to be discovering a ton of stuff, aren't we? Is this a good idea? I'm going to look at what the fast guide is as well, and we'll see. I'm going to even sell this T5 leather here. Let me just quickly check as well. Nope. 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 Yes, that's better. Delete that. Nope. That's fine. That has something slotted in it already. Nope. Okay, none of that stuff's good. Okay, that's fine. Let me nip to this dude. Supplies. So we go basic here. I think is what we were recommended before.
I like
Salvage
it.
all that stuff down. Consume our luck. We just dinged a bit more magic. Fine, guys. I'm going to take the mini-map off now. And collapse daily. I won't open those chests. Let's sell all of this junk here.
Talk to you
Let's
later.
also nip over to Ella McKay since we're pretty close while I check out the fast
fury
guide
is
as well. So fast. So the normal guide is 31. The fast guide is 38. Do you think we should do? Did you think that's worth the price? The fast guide? Do you think that's smarter, guys? By show of hands, tell me. Type a 1 in chat if you want to go for the fast guide, which is 33 gold. Type a 2 if you want to... Oh, sorry, the slow guide, which is 33 gold. Type a 2 if you want the fast guide, which is 38. I'm fairly confident we can get the money for the fast one as well, but obviously money's going to be used for a lot of stuff. Only the chef guide requires heart items. Yeah, that makes sense. Slow guide, fast. Damn, we can't get that POI either. People are mixed. I'm mixed on it as well. 1 or 2. It doesn't look like there's an overwhelming majority. So I'll leave that up to me then. I'm going to go with... Just because I hate
Every day's a
crafting.
good day to learn something.
There you
Another
go. We got
proud
that 3
moment.
AP and a keg of karma. Will you please stop pissing about with me now? Can you go away? 7k karma. That's not bad. I'm going to go with the fast guide if I can get the money for it. Just because I hate crafting. And I want this to be smooth. Even if I spend a bit more. We need to wait for the ascended mats anyway, right? Yes. Yeah, we're getting a few more 2s in chat now. Oh, yes, guys. Twiggy just reminded me. The lottery is ending tomorrow. So if we have a look at the money. Do you want to win 500 gold? If you want to win 500 gold and you can be at tomorrow's stream, check out the lottery. Click the link in chat. Check out the lottery. Buy yourself a ticket. It's a huge giveaway. We've done lots of these in the past. Hopefully it will be fun for you guys to do it. We're going to do the giveaway on chat tomorrow, and you've got a pretty high chance of winning as well, because only people in chat tomorrow will be able to win it. So that should be pretty cool. Check it out. Yeah, and we need a space for the lottery on the overlay. Maybe maybe I can do that actually already. Okay, so we've got 33G here. And we'll just earn a little bit more cash on tomorrow's berry farm or something. So I'm just gonna get this rolling. We're gonna stay at the TP and we're gonna start buying what we need now. Okay, so the vendor there, that's fine. So what we want is a giver's dark steel imbued inscription. Here we go. What are the odds that if I put a buy order in on that, it will actually come in anytime soon?
The fury is
I'm
mine.
just gonna buy it. Oh no, I had to buy the recipe for that.
What brings you here?
Shit, where do I buy the recipe for that? Oh, crap.
Everything you need here.
Well, we wasted some
I
gold there.
like it.
Recipe. Oh, this is really annoying. Recipe? Givers. Dark steel. Imbued inscription. There you go. 42 copper. Right. Well, we wasted a bit of cash there. We don't need to throw over 38 copper, though. It's basically nothing. Collectibles. Check bank first or buy on TP. We're just going to buy all of this on TP. Okay? So, copper ore. This I will put in an order on. Copper ore, we need 40. We need inventory space for a lot of this stuff. Iron ore. We want 228, which is 5 gold. Minus 5. 223. Wow. It's pretty interesting. I didn't realize that would be so expensive. Mithril ore. We may already have mithril on us here. Or have I been selling the mithril, have I? Mithril ore. The thing about crafting to level, guys, I think we should all consider as well, is that if this costs money, we wouldn't necessarily have had the money to do it. Mithril ore. So we can do that. Platinum ore. I very rarely ever place buy orders, so I'm vaguely concerned that I'm doing this wrong. I'm using the fast guide on guildwars2crafts.net. That's what I'm using. Platinum ore, we want 100 of this. For 2 gold. Elderwood, we need 54. Have I saved my elderwood? Oh, look at that. Oh, but those are planks. Oh no, they're logs. 54. So we only need to buy 8 of those. There we go. Greenwood logs. Okay, greenwood logs we need to buy 270, so we'll go 50. And then 20. Okay. Hardwood logs. And we want to buy the node for 2,000 gold. We want to buy 126 of those. Which is good. Softwood log. We want to buy 52 of. This is weird. These numbers all feel weird. I'm really concerned about this.
Go away.
This is going to be really annoying if I mess this up, which I'm very prone to. Crafting is a bit... I really don't like crafting in this game. Scribing is... This is going to sound weird and you're going to lose all respect from me. Scribing is my favourite craft in this game. Because once you get used to it, people always bitch about how, oh, it's too intimate, there's too many things we can't do. I actually saw someone on Reddit saying the person who made it shouldn't be allowed to make any more crafting disciplines on Reddit just the other day. 20 shimmering dust, which I think is complete bullshit. For people who actually get into it, it's alright. And it makes sense. It's very intelligently designed in a lot of ways. But hey, that's what you get. Large bone. Heavy bone. 18 of. I'm preparing. I'm obviously alt tabbed out of Twitch right now. So I'm preparing to go back to tons of people screaming, "Oh my god, no, it's doing it badly," oh, and having fucking a freak out. Charge shard. Oh wait, charge shard. Oh. Seriously? Alright, maybe that's not so bad. Those are really expensive though, because they were used in Winter's Day and someone... Oh, onyx shard. No, onyx core it wants. Onyx core. We want 8 of these. Pile of foul essence. We want 13 of these. Pile of vile essence. We want 8 of these. This is quite the recipe list. 10 corrupted fragments.
Speak quickly.
That's a gold right there. Just the buy orders are kind of low. Oh, good. The buy orders are kind of low. Corrupted fragment. Corrupted shard. $16. We're getting a bit low now. I think this is the bit where we're going to run out of cash. Tiny snowflake. 57. Oh, there are no buyers. You could just get them for vendor price. 57 of those. And unique snowflakes. 48 of them.
Quickly.
Mix.
For blood
Buy on
legion.
TP. What does that mean? What's the mix section? Oh, this is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff. We're gonna have to clean our inventory before we grab this. Let me just check chat. Hi chat, how's it going? What's going on? I'm curious, what RPGs do you think handle romance well? I know WP's vote would go to FFX. Any others? I don't know. I don't really think the romance is handled that well in X. It's okay. The kiss scene was more cringy to me than anything else, though. My main experience, I like I said last night, I was playing Mass Effect. I always thought that BioWare did like romances where specifically you, the character, can romance someone else. You, the player, sorry, can romance a character. I thought that did that okay. I'm not sure what else. I'd have to think. I think it's quite rare to see two characters fall in love. Well, for the games that I've played anyway. And again, that's where my opinion becomes obvious how crappy my opinion is. How little it's worth. Ironhorn. 19 of these. Oh, no. What did I just buy? Did I buy the horn or the mouthpiece? Oh, dear. Iron horn we need here. I might have made a slight mistake there. I think I bought horns instead of horn mouthpieces. So I need to buy 19 iron horns. Rawhide string. We need to buy 13. Oh, no, not 113. Just 13. 13 rawhide strings. Elder wood dowels. Because these are actually cheaper to buy than to refine for yourself. 9 of. Let's put in orders for that. Greenwood dowel. Yeah, my criticism of the Marjorie Casimir storyline and how Living World Season 1 handled it specifically, that's not rooted in a comparison to other franchises at all. It's purely in what this game delivered and how this game made me feel. It's not a comparison to what I've experienced elsewhere. Softwood dowels, 19 of. Precise. Bronze. We're nearly there now, guys. Plated. Inscription. 13 of. Well, obviously all of this stuff's not going to come in time, right? So, hearty. Iron plated inscription. So we're going to want 13. What one though? The rare one or the... Oh, plated, not imbued. Okay, yeah. So we want 13 of those. Which we just about had the cash for. That's interesting. So, that's our shopping list done, except stuff from the buy vendor, which we want a little bit more gold to acquire anyway. Alright.
The spirits of the wild.
Why is this already in my inventory? Did I do that before? We're gonna sell that because we don't actually need that, obviously. And then we're gonna sell all this other stuff. We're just gonna get rid of it because everything we need, except the iron ore and the wood, everything we need is coming in a second. So we're gonna just get rid of all of this to free up as much inventory space as possible. Leather section. List. Oh, I'll vendor the sigils. What do you guys think that they should do to sigils as well? While we're talking about random stuff. Silk, cotton, linen,
Go away, you scurvy
green
yak.
onions, orichalcum ore, which we could have kept, to be honest, for our eventual weapons. Yeah, okay. Alright. I'm just going to pop the World vs. World booster. There is no way. Why can't I pop it? What? Do I have to go into World vs. World to pop that? Make sigils salvageable? You've never played any BioWare games. Yeah, no, they do handle it very well. I think they handle it very well. Well, I don't know. Sometimes BioWare have had their mistakes. Alright, let's pop that. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. The frozen exotic fragments. We're going to vendor those now. We're going to get an extra gold for free here. I'm going to sell that. We're going to sell that. Is that enough inventory slots?
A fitting reward.
I don't know. It might not be. Sell this stuff down. Make cosmetic recipes that require sigils.
No free samples.
No, it's got to be something that, like, I don't think it can be anything that someone would just spend some sigils on and then unlock once and then that's it, because you're constantly getting sigils in the game. Sigils are constantly arriving. You know one thing that might indirectly help it, and that's them in bulk. That's them allowing like bulk Mystic Forge stuff, and then people would start bulk forging green sigils to hopefully get rare ones to then bulk forge into exotic ones to sell on the TP. A Mystic Forge in bulk thing would probably make sigils, and then obviously people would buy them to do that. That would probably improve things. But I don't know whether they'll ever do that. I don't know whether they want the Mystic Forge to be that. Really not sure. Okay, well, so, what did we accomplish today? We got a bunch of berries. We got some masteries done. We've got all of our TP buy order things going for when we craft on Huntsman, which will have to be probably next time 0 to Hero when it returns, because we've got a lot of orders that need to be filled, and that might take a while. What can we do in the interim? We got a little bit before I ended the stream here. What do you guys think we should run for next? We do have the question of exotic armor to go for. So where would we get our exotic sinister armor? And that's an interesting question. A button to sell all sigils on their rarity. I don't like that so much. Like, people have made suggestions, I'll just make them junk so they get sold through. But I sort of don't like that completely undervalues the idea of them being in the game at all, right? Like, it's just, it's a nothing thing. It's just like, oh, okay, well, there you go. Loot is now even less interesting. There's now even less to play with and craft and mess around with.
Look.
Reward tracks for the helm and gloves. Get the Silverwaste Carapace set. Just do some Vine Wraths. Well, let's see here. So this is Goat Dropper. I don't believe Goat Dropper ever really did properly visit the Silverwaste. No. Do you know what? Bizarrely, I think the best way to get there is to go out of the Lost Precipice and back through. I think that is the fastest way into the Silverwaste. Don't you guys? I'm going to do this just to check the viability of this run. And I'm going to do this to check what the vendors are actually offering. So I guess the run would be from the other waypoint, actually. So let's go to the other waypoint. Both Sinister and Vipers are crafted. Carapace lets you select Sinisters, doesn't it? Remove purchasing exotic sigils, then make upgrading them in a similar way to lodestones. The only way to get exotic sigils then is by combining lower tiers. So you're saying take away crafting recipes. Is that true for runes as well? And if not, why no parity? So like you'd get rid of all the ways that you can craft sigils, and then they just come as drops from exotic stuff that drops, or from building lower tier sigils up. I like that. I think that works. I think that's interesting. Someone giving the downside? Because I'm sure there is one. I just haven't thought about it. Carapace has Sinister. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Are we going Sinister or Viper? That's the first thing I should do. All right, so let's quickly have a look there. You guys are right. So, hold on. So let's have a look. Meta battle. So the current, as of this guide, engineer raiding build that is suggested as meta for condition damage is, scroll down, consumables, usage, tips. Wait, where does it say? Equipment. If you own a Sinister back piece, you can use it with one Sinister earring, while the rest of your gear is Vipers to achieve the same results. One ring and the boots are going to be Sinister. All other armor and weapons and trinkets are Vipers. Okay, so it's actually Vipers exotic stuff we're going for. So it's Vipers. We need Vipers armor. So Vipers armor naturally then would be farmed from Verdant Brink. Probably would be the best way to do that. I don't know, this is interesting. This is interesting. What do you guys think? So the best way to get Viper's armor. We need Sinister boots, so we do have to spend a little bit of time in the Silver Wastes. AB meta recipe plus gold for gear. Oh, it's AB, yeah. Wait, no, those are just the recipes, though. You can, for exotic stuff, you can get any gear in Heart of Thorns, can't you? And you can stat swap it. We're not crafting it. Can't we just can't we just get loot from this map? And then you stat select it, right? Exotic Viper is very expensive to craft. You get the Viper's back exotic box during... We don't care about the back... Oh, sorry. You get exotic box during the Heart of Thorns story. Remember, this is... it's better to craft the cheapest Ascended Armor set instead and stat swap to Viper. Go for World versus World. Get POH. Buy the recipe from the insignia and patch. Host Wanner, can you elaborate more? What do you mean from World versus World? The box mission 15. Yeah, the box is going to take ages. You just crafted a set of Ascended Viper long ago. It was much cheaper to stat swap elsewhere. Yeah, that's fine, but we're not going for Ascended Armor. You can't stat swap exotic armor. Don't be silly. You think you can stat select hot stats on hot gear? Most of it you can, yeah. It's just the back pieces that were broken. Proof of heroics. Alright, let me check here on the wiki then, because I really don't understand proof of heroics very well. Proof of heroics are pretty cheap on the TP as well. Proof of heroic. Proof of heroics are a currency earned by ranking in World vs. World. They were originally tokens and are now stored in the account wallet and can be redeemed at heroics notaries near the spawn location on each map. Players can convert older tokens into the currency by double-clicking on them. Okay. So, these are now a currency. You can't buy those then. Never mind. You can't buy them. Vendors. So, vendors sell... inscriptions and insignias. Rune of Thorns. Some sigils. So you're saying that I can get the inscription for the armor, but then I would still have to craft it, which would involve crafting, not just building Huntsman to max, but that would involve building Leatherworker to max as well, wouldn't it? So proof of heroics isn't a good idea, is it? Unless they sell the armor straight up. Do they? Well, I'll tell you what's best. Let's just go have a look, shall we? Oh, look. EBG's actually capped. That's interesting. PvP, easy loot, easy gear. I know, but... Alright, let's check over here. Tips and tracks. Trips and traps. Traps and tricks. Cultural armor, master strategist. What vendor would we be going to? You think I need the mastery also? Yeah, I think you do. You need to get World versus World ranks. I'm rank 1 in Vader. I'm nothing. So Hero challenges, Laurel Merchant, TP. The point is that he's trying to prove people wrong and show how long it really takes to reach that raiding status people believe they needed to be able to raid. Yeah, I mean, if we had gone power instead, this wouldn't even be a discussion. No, actually it would, wouldn't it? Where would we get Berserker armor from? You think you can only buy the recipes from the portable thing? Right, which you get from having these. I don't think the world versus world idea is a good idea. Also, without Ascended Armor, WP won't reach 100% Condi duration, so he would need to run a different build than the one on Meta Battle. Yeah, that's not lost on me, yeah. So, like, the Vipers mixing stuff in and whatever is not... Like, there's nothing wrong with us going Sinister Armor. What other crafting disciplines would you like to see? I'd love to see a whole rework for Gathering and Gathering Discipline. That's a huge topic. I don't think I can really get into it, but... Mostly, I think future disciplines should tie into guild hall decorations. And I think that 95% of any player you ever meet in Guild Wars 2 is going to think that's a bad idea, but I think they're wrong. Oh, we don't actually have updrafts. Hold on, let's quickly train that. Quick, quick, spend. Okay, we got it. We unlocked updraft juice. So this map, because of the whole updraft thing, if we're gonna take a totally fresh account, I'll run from Ratasim instead, so we don't worry about that. We'll go from Ratasim. There's also the booster, by the way, which he immediately would put you in Silver Waste to check out. This is just for my own purposes right now. I want to go to Silver Waste to check the map. I think Sinister is probably the... Wow, what? If we miss this as well, I'll be really sad. Go, 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 go. There we go. Beauty. Do we want to go for that hero challenge now? No, let's try and get into this updraft. Hold on. This is quite tough. Come on. Make it. Yes. And up we go. Yeah, I want to go to the Silver Waste just to check Sinister there and how tricky that would be. But I think doing Silver Waste is probably the best way for us to go. I think Silver Waste is our, like... so it would be sort of a form of interim armor. But Silver Waste for Sinister armor... And then we can just stat select all of our trinkets and things onto Vipers to, you know, mix and match it up. And that's fine. Like, the point is to get 100% Condi duration. Or, not 100%, but just to push it up a lot. The first waypoint is already unlocked. Not on this character, it's not. Oh, the VB waypoint, first waypoint is unlocked. Yes, nice. Good point. Okay, so we can do that. We will do this then on our other character.
Can't wait to scout this
That's
place
good.
out.
You can always sounds like a balancing nightmare. One thing they could do is go the upgrade route, but then make each low tier sigil upgradable with any other. That way, an exotic sigil could have aspects of the 3 separate sigils. Yeah, they could do a lot. It's interesting on your first time through an account the amount of different cutscenes you get. I believe you could just buy a full set of Zerka exotic armor from the TP. It would be about 50 to 75 gold. Yeah, that's a good point as well. We could just TP it. But then it's a question of getting the money. You get 3 pieces of Viper gear from the Season 3 story. You can get 3 pieces of Viper gear from the Season 3 story. Where in the Season 3 story? In a crack in the ice? Silver Waste doesn't give you exotic Sinister gear, it just gives you the recipes. Does it not drop Carapace armor and then you stat select?
Can't wait to tell my warband about this place.
Yeah, listen guys, if it's only inscriptions, it's not a good idea. And now we can skip through there as well. The meta achievements. According to Wiki, both Sinister and exotic gear has to be crafted with the exception of a couple pieces of Vipers from story. Nightmare trying to extract the right information. Oh, is Carapace rare, not exotic? If Carapace is only rare, then the Silver Waste plan doesn't work at all. This is cool. I like the theory craft of this. This is very interesting. So Carapace, so it would have to be... yeah, this is only rare. I don't even see where the inscriptions are at the moment here. Oh, here you go, crafting. Yeah, so that doesn't work then. That doesn't work. Okay, so Silver Waste won't work. Proof of Heroics won't work.
See you.
Let me just, for my own sense of mind here, check this out. Buy items. Because what we might end up having to do, guys. So let me just check. Attributes. Condition damage.
See why we should have to
Rarity.
take orders from mice
Exotic.
talking cabbages.
Level 80. Engineer. Look how cheap carrion is. Holy shit.
Is it true that
Bet
the
buy
head of
orders
this
are even
outfit
lower
is a
on that as well.
safari?
Interesting. Why is Errol's coat even cheaper? And Rayna's coat.
See why we should have to take orders from mice.
I mean, shit, look at
talking
Shiro's coat.
cabbages.
All right.
Do T4 metas in
Let's
Heart of
make our
Thorns
queen
work
proud.
like bladed
Get
armor?
to it.
No, but there's like Laystone armor as well. We could do. It would be 6 meta events, I think, right? Laystone armor or season 3 meta achievements. You can buy sinister named exotics, but they're usually really expensive. We don't care about. It took us about 12 hours to get to level 80. Just 12 hours, I think. Laystone is Wanderers. Is it? Yeah, but so they're not stat selectable for any stat then?
Hope the Queen held enough of us back to defend DR if it comes to that.
The season 3 meta achievements each have a piece of stat selectable exotics with all of them available. But there's only 3 patches, and I'm a bit concerned. So basically, guys, to pull everyone in, basically, here's a point some people are making in chat. They're saying that if you were to go to Story Journal, this Story Journal here, Out of the Shadows, which costs 400 gems, plus this Rising Flames, which costs 400 gems, plus this A Crack in the Ice, which costs 400 gems. If I do all of the achievements here, which is a fairly lengthy process, I will get out of it 1 box. So for this patch, for example, it was the Glacial Gauntlets, and that's exotic, and I can pick Vipers or Sinisters. And if I did it here, I could get 1 box, and these are the shoulders, and this is, I could get whatever I want there. And if I did this, and I got this 1 box, I get the helmet, and I can do this here. But the thing is, that's only 3 out of 6 we'll have done.
Let's make our queen proud.
And
Get
it's
to
an
it.
investment of all the time to do the metas, and it now means we're not just in a place
Is it
where we just
true
want a
that
crack
the
in the
head of
ice.
this outfit
We're in a
is a
place where we
safari?
want, plus maybe Rising Flames, depending on how we do the accessory. We're in a place where we want to do all of them, plus 3 more potentially that come out. So I'm not sure that that's right. Laystone isn't stat selectable, but Bladed is, right? I'm sure Bladed is. It doesn't sound too much quicker, so this is a potential option.
Stay on alert for the duration of your time here.
Doing all of Heart of Thorns as well, so if we did all of this, this, and this, we'd also get another one, I think.
Ranking officer in one of our 3 orders, and they'll find
Those are all
you
amulets.
intact.
We'd get another one,
Good
I
luck
think.
to each of
You do all of
May Tyria prevail in the days ahead.
Bladed is selectable, but doesn't give what we want. Bladed only has crappy stats.
See why we should have to take orders from mice and talking cabbages.
Alright, so here's my thinking, guys. Proof of Heroics won't work. The meta events don't sound very good to me. Doesn't even get us the whole way. Crafting definitely doesn't sound good to me. Crafting Leatherworker means playing with leather. It doesn't sound very good. PvP and the reward tracks there are also off the table. This map isn't giving us what we want for exotic either. So generally, it sounds to me like most options aren't available to us.
See why we should have to take
Laystone
orders
armor
from
box.
mice
Why are you
and
saying
talking
Laystone armor
cabbages.
box? I thought people said that that doesn't select our stats. WP, you can speed run the Heart of Thorns story 6 times to
Make
get
our
6
queen
pieces of
proud.
Viper Order. No,
Get
but I
to it.
can't because I only have this one character. I can't character swap and then do it on another toon. You only get that reward the once, so I can only get one thing, Neil.
Knowledge is the
I can't
greatest
character swap because if I make a new character, that means leveling another character to 80 to do it, which means another 12 hours on top of each. So that doesn't work either. Laystone does have Heart of Thorn stats, does it? Yeah, I'm going to check this out, okay? Laystone armor box. Acquired from completing Hearts and Minds, but that doesn't matter. We don't have 680s. We can't do that. That doesn't matter. Bladed armor box. Awarded for participation in the night cycle. The box is always contained in the map meta event at the end. Regardless... Oh, no. If the players reach T4. And you have 100% map completion. So we'd have to map complete and do that. And then the bladed helmet has not got what we want, as people said. Doesn't have what we want. So that's not a thing either. You can do it at least once for one piece. You think I should complete all of the Heart of Thorn story for one piece? Well, because, okay, now let me be clear. So most of them look like dead ends. So what I'm thinking is when we hit level 80, I didn't think there was much difference in the stat type that we went for. I thought that there was mostly... I knew that the Condi was the higher DPS, but also Power has a lot more quality of life. Power had a lot of options as well for swapping around. So I threw it up as a vote to people, and you all voted... Well, no, it was like, what was it? It was 52% to 48 or something? It wasn't... There was not a big difference. We ended up winning Condi, so I was happy to go with Condi there. What I'm thinking now is what we should do is we should readjust our mindset to... point to the fact that maybe some builds are much harder to get, and probably a beginner that's starting out shouldn't go for them. So maybe go for your Condi set, like on your second character, but for a first character, considering it's wildly easier in so many respects, perhaps instead it would be best to go for Power, and we should do Power instead, basically. What do you guys think of that? Because Berserker, it's not like you're not going to be able to raid on a Zerk set. Zerk's still very strong, and realistically speaking, your average pug would be way better on Zerk NG than Condi. But then also beyond that, that's transferable. If we went for Zerk, we'd actually be able to transfer that onto other things. Zerk is probably, in a lot of ways, the most true to life thing. Most people will be going for Zerk. Yeah, you should really go Power. Yeah, and for example, once you get into the raids, you'll then get that full set of Ascended Armor once you're in there, and you can make that your Condi set if you want. But WP, wasn't the supposed scenario, hey, yeah, you can raid with us, but first get this profession with this build? Yes, that is a part of it, you're right. I mean, it's a weird challenge we're doing here because it's all very unrealistic. If we're thinking of that, Regno, it's kind of like... It's weird already because you're already going to have an 80. You're already going to... Whatever you already have. So it's like... If someone's saying... You've probably already got that right set. Do you get what I mean? I've not articulated that correctly at all. Zerk Exotic is just like Karma in Ore. It would be a lot easier. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Zerk Exotic is very cheap. Wait, how do you get Ascended Armor just from raiding? You mean buying with shards? I mean the Legendary Precursor Collection, and I mean with shards. Both are viable, and random drops. It's not that we can't be bothered. It's that we're talking about a massive time jump now, based on a fairly arbitrary build decision. Let's put it this way. How few classes are... none of them really are. Well, if your first character was a Necro, then you're going to struggle more getting into raiding. These are all things that we would assess at the end, you know? It's like when you do like a scientific paper and you point out the biases and you talk about the potential weaknesses. It's like one potential weakness of this would be I started with a little bit of karma. And another weakness would be we played with a few people in the party and that helped us level faster. You know, you list out the things that have dragged it down. And another thing would be, okay, if you're starting out on Condi, Condi is a harder thing to begin with. Zerk is very high on the TP, but Carrion's around 11 to 12 gold. I think I'd rather get a Zerk set than a Carrion set, though. Wait, you're saying 11 to 12 gold for the whole set? What do you mean you can't raid with the Zerk NG? You won't get accepted. Is that true? That's not true, is it? Zerk NG can get into raids. They have a meta battle build up there as well. I know for a fact that you can viably raid on a Zerk NG, but yes, this is about the LFG consideration. So let's see. Raid. Power Bomber raid. Yeah, we're talking about a vote score of 100 versus a vote score of 93. An alternative to the Condi build for raid. The power build is described as such. An alternative to the Condi build for raids that provides more damage in fights with adds and great burst damage for fights with a limited damage window, which is a selection of the raid bosses, such as, you know, like Keep Construct. It's totally viable. Do SPVP. No. I think we can keep upholding that. Go for Condi Rev. Yes, go for power. It still has the opportunity to be meta in the future. That was the reason we regretted the Ranger choice last time, wasn't it? Yeah, that's true. I do regret. Because if I'd listened to your original vote on the original Zero to Hero, we would be on Thief, and we would have gone power anyway. My main argument for the power thing, aside from now this huge difference, is it's very transferable. The only problem with all of it is we've just spent a ton of money. We just spent 30 gold on all these items for Huntsman, which now I don't think we need. Because, well, no, we'd have a rifle anyway, right? You know, Huntsman would still be a thing. Unless we just get Zerk weapon somewhere. Yeah, look, okay, let's lay it on the line, guys. Tons of stuff is viable. Power NG is absolutely viable. Loads of things are viable. It's easy. You can go in on anything and you can be carried, okay? A lot of stuff is even above the bar of viable, but not necessarily meta. There's loads of it, okay? The point, though, is that a lot of pugs don't see that. So all the discussions around, you know, oh, you can easily... That doesn't really matter. We're kind of just looking at... You're new to the game, or you've already got a character, and you can't raid, so you need to... what does it take to go from that place where you have nothing to be able to raid with your friends? Okay, generally speaking. And we're going to go from the example that your friends are not really friends. They're just randoms. They're LFG people who are going to heavily discriminate. It doesn't actually matter what the reality of the situation is. These are people who aren't that confident at the game, and they're going to heavily discriminate to make sure you're on the right thing. Okay? So that's the world we're in. And I guess the question is, do people believe that power NG is in that world? I think it is, isn't it? WP, with the toxicity of the raid community, won't be accepted with a power NG. I don't know whether that's true. I mean, is that what this comes down to, do you think? For absolute confidence?
See why we should have to take orders from mice and talking cabbages.
Hope the Queen held enough of us back to defend DR if they say we're headed into the heart of the Maguma jungle.
Two Condi NGs. Let me do something here.
Welcome to Camp Rizal. We're grateful for the cooperation of your respective governments in the coming assault. We ask that you stay on alert for the duration of your time here. We've already seen hostile action at our camp boundaries. If you're unsure of how to be of most use, find a ranking officer in one of our 3 orders, and they'll find you a task. Good luck to each of you, and may Tyria prevail.
What encounter are they on, did they say? If it's VG, that's unfortunate. Because if it's VG, they only are demanding Condi here because they're doing it for red. That's the only reason. Oh no, it's 0, right?
Is it true that the head of this outfit is a Sofari?
Why would they need Condi for 0?
See why we should have to
They
take
say we're
orders
headed
from
into the
mice
heart
and
of the
talking
Maguma
about
jungle.
cabbages.
It's VG. They're running VG, so that's not fair. Let's try that. With the Zerka, we can go laurels, fractals, and berries. Yeah, we can do tons with that. This is interesting. I've never done this. I've never done this. This is really cool. We'll see. That's not decisive enough. Damn it. He has no idea what's going on either. This is amazing.
Defend DR if it comes to
All right, troops. Let's make our
Wait,
queen
what's this? So we're
proud.
standing around doing nothing? No, you got to plan it out. You can't just YOLO in there. I'm not having the character timer going up when we haven't got the plan. I think we had a similar dilemma 2 weeks ago. Nike told you that Power NG Spot competes with Power Guardian, so it's viable and you can find a spot in LFG.
Find a ranking officer in one of our 3 orders.
These guys already are winding me up. You see, this is already annoying to me. This frustrates me. We screwed up with the PvP choice. Let's not screw up with this one. I thought this was 0. I'm out. Peace.
hope the
But
Queen held
they're
enough of us
struggling.
back to
They're asking to
defend
ping
DR.
LI. I can't ping any LI. I got 0.
Cabbages.
Sorry to people that don't understand what's going on. Basically, you should be reading chat up here. This is the idea. So it doesn't seem like these guys would accept the Power NG, even if it wasn't VG. It seems like they're like, oh, we'll see if you run something else. This is unfortunate because this is exactly
They say we're headed into the heart of the Maguma
they need
jungle.
it for
gives me
VG.
the
So I'm just gonna
chills.
log out of that now. I'm gonna leave that squad. Perhaps to raid properly, you actually need 2 sets of gear. I don't think that's true because if Twitch chat hadn't voted on NG, right? If they'd voted on like a lot of classes, it just would have been straight. It would just wouldn't have been. We'll just get a berserker set. That's it.
Let's make our queen proud. Get to it.
WP, when will we see the first transvender char in game?
The Queen
We
held
already
enough of
saw
us
one,
back
didn't
to
we?
defend DR if it comes to that.
Oh, the first transvender. You mean char? Do you mean char like character, or do you mean char like race?
Is it true that
Someone
the
already
head
put
of
one
this
in lines
outfit
up.
is a Sylvari?
They like changed gender after the attack or something. Wait, you can play Condi for something else than VG? Hey man, I have taken a break of about a year or more, and I just got Heart of Thorns for whatever's the fastest way to get 250 hero points for Daredevil Thief. I hate questions like that, man. Play the game. Just do map completion. Just get hero challenges. You can go to LFG and join a fucking hero point train if you want, but if it's your first character, just play the game. Like, there's no need to farm that and go super fast with that. Alright. I'm going to open a straw poll. This straw poll is not necessarily to, I'm not going to necessarily listen to whatever the outcome of this is. It's just to influence my decision and see how we're feeling, okay? So the straw poll is, okay, again, the same as before, and it's power or Condi. Okay? So just to lay out the perks, and the positives, the downsides. Zerk, 99% of anyone watching this series or playing will want. Zerk, for a long-ass time in Guild Wars 2, in the past and off into the future, having a good
why we should
Zerk
have to
set
take orders
is
from
pretty
mice
much,
and talking
you know,
cabbages.
one of the lowest bars you should get, and most people should have. Zerk is therefore much more transferable into other people. Zerk allows us to get a much cheaper weapon, because we can, oh, no, we still need a rifle. Why were we talking about that before? Why were we saying that Zerk we would get, going power, we'd be able to go weaponsmith? It doesn't matter, they're both Huntsmen. That whole discussion on the previous stream was ridiculous. Anyway, so Zerk will be much easier. We'll be able to get our Zerk armor from way more different places.
See why we should have to take orders from mice
And so, yeah,
talking
and the idea would
cabbages.
be Condi players should start off with their Zerk set, and then they can build their Condi set second once they're in raids, and all of a sudden the game is showering you with this gear. The only class that gets screwed out of Zerk is, I think, Necro under current balance, because Power Reaper is shit and ArenaNet refused to make it any good, and I'm pretty sure a Zerk Necro wouldn't get into anything. I think, though, Zerk has a place everywhere else, except maybe Druid. Druid, you might not be able to see. Ranger, Power Rangers, you probably don't see. But everyone else is good. Everyone else is in the clear, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then Mesmer maybe to an extent.
See why we should have to take
So that's the
orders from
Zerk
mice
discussion.
and talking
Condi,
cabbages.
Condi for this class specifically happens to be slightly higher damage. That damage is reliant on a very complicated rotation. Most people won't be able to comfortably execute while also looking at the raid mechanics themselves. Condi also... Oh, the other perk of power is if you go power... you kind of take a... It's either you're a guardian and you're more likely to get it, or if you go Condi, then people are just going to pick Necros over you anyway. But so Condi has a bit of a competition with the Necros. Condi is way harder to get. What else is there about Condi?
See why we should have to take
Condi
orders
is useful
from
for various
mice
classes.
and talking cabbages.
Zerk Mesmer is meta. There you go. It's just Commander leggings. I don't even know, but that's fair enough. Power Ranger, not Power Druid, yeah. All right, so anyway, so that's the discussion, basically. It's very much like the PvP... No, it's not really like the PvP vote. It's just another vote that will dramatically affect this run. Now, what I really want... We just want to make this run have some value, right? So we got that's something that we're thinking about, okay? So, again, Power or Condi. And I'll see how people feel now that this information has come to them. Again, Power almost won before, I think, but we went Condi instead. And again, I'll reiterate, Condi is the best that an engineer would do. There's that question of can we... Maybe, let me... Before you vote on this as well, maybe what we'll try to do is we'll try to get our feet in a raid. We'll try and clear an encounter. At the end, we'll stop the timer, but at the end, we will actually try an LFG. I don't know whether me streaming is going to make that weird and then throw it off balance and blah, blah, blah. So it's not... I don't put too much focus on it. But I will reserve a space at the end to try and get into a raid and clear an encounter. All right? I will try that to cap off this 0 to hero challenge, all right? It won't necessarily keep the timer rolling, but we'll try that. And we'll see whether we can actually LFG. So if you vote power now, the proof will be in the pudding at the end if we can actually get in a group with randoms. And we'll see how long that takes. Yeah? So yeah, I think that's all that really has to be said about the straw poll. Let's see what people think, and we'll see how we run. Before we vote, WP should show us him performing the Condi rotation. I don't know what the Condi rotation is. I know what the quick cooldown skills are. I've not learned that rotation. I'm pretty sure I could do it, but yeah. If you're buying Zerka armor, you should look at Nika's armor set. It might be cheaper than even crafting. Well, I'm thinking the ore thing. There's so many options for Zerk. I'm thinking even the Orion thing. Oh, the other downside of... If you vote power, then we've just wasted 30 gold. Which maybe I can reimburse, because that was just a planning issue that we had there.
See why we should have to take orders from mice and talking cabbages.
But yeah, we'll check Nika. A full set of Nikas looks like it's about the 30 gold we just spent, plus we wouldn't even have to craft. Right, 5, 11, 15, 22, 24, yeah, 29 gold. Literally, all that money we just spent for Huntsman. Oh no, what am I talking about? I'm such an idiot. We need Huntsman anyway.
See why we should have to take orders from mice and talking cabbages.
We need Huntsman anyway for the weapon, I think. Unless there's a place we can get a power rifle really cheap. I don't know, but that has to be ascended quality. We need an ascended rifle. So the Huntsman thing's a separate discussion. All right, let me see the results. Let's see what people are doing. Look, it's still split. It still says Condi 51 votes to 48. As soon as you mentioned gold, it surged Condi. What do you mean? As soon as you mentioned gold. But you can't use Nika's on light. That doesn't matter, though. That's irrelevant. Brexit 2.0. People said that last time as well. And then the 6 scholar runes on top, probably around 12 to 14 gold for that. Yeah. It's literally 50-50 right now. There is not a vote in it. It's 50-50. This is weird. You can get a rifle for basically nothing in World vs. World. Not an ascended one. We need an ascended rifle. My reasoning for Condi is you should do whatever build is the meta, because that's what new players will do, or they won't get accepted in LFG. Dungeon armor for Zerkers? Would that be a good idea? Dungeon armors? Oh, Condi was behind a couple of percent, and then I mentioned wasting gold, and it went up. The vote doesn't matter that much. It's my decision. It's not Twitch's. I just want to see what people think. Dungeon armor would take way too long. If we go power, it opens up a lot of things. Like, if we go power, we can get a ring from Fractals. So we can get one of our rings from Bitterfrost and the other one from Fractals. We can get our amulet very easily from Laurels instead of a Viper's amulet. If we go Condi, the Viper's amulet we need berries for, which we can't sort of do in tandem. We can just do a couple of Fractals and we can get the amulet really easily. Sorry, what? What am I talking about? The ring from Fractals. This we can get from Laurels, yeah.
See why we should have to take orders from mice and talking cabbages.
I don't think there's an amulet for Laurels that's Viper, but we can do that. So then that saves us. So all we'd need is the back and an accessory, and then we can get another accessory maybe some other way. Fractals have 2 different Zerk rings. They do, but I'm thinking we can use berries for one, and then we can use berries for another, or something like that. Basically what we'd do on the streams is we'd go Bitterfrost berry farm, and then to a couple of recommended Fractals, and then if we get the ring really quickly, we can go. We can keep doing that. We can get both rings here. As for the ascended weapon, getting an ascended rifle is going to be a lot cheaper than getting 2 separate ascended pistols that are Condi. Getting ascended rifle would be quicker than that. This amuses me because we might not use the Living World Season 3 maps after all. I think we will. We will definitely, for the accessories, we will be using, and the back piece. The back piece, if you remember, Zero to Hero before, it stalled on the back because we were going for a back from Fractal. It was ridiculous. Back piece is actually a really expensive slot and a really difficult slot. And whether we go power or Condi, this back slot we can fill easily now with berries. Cough is pretty fast for Zerker armor. I'm thinking of just buying Nika's stuff. Farming 30 gold won't take long. Farming 30 gold is not a problem. We'll just get Nika's stuff. Why not? Zerker is one of the stats you can select from bladed armor.
Talking cabbages.
Ascended back piece for less than 100 gold with MF. What do you mean MF? Yeah, the Vial of Salt is very good as well, but it's PvP, and we said no PvP. Bladed armor from the Verdant Brink meta.
See why we should have to take orders
No.
from
Listen,
mice
guys.
and
Listen.
talking cabbages.
How long do you think a Verdant Brink meta will take? A Verdant Brink meta would take the whole night time, right? And if it doesn't hit T4, then you've wasted all that time. But let's assume for a second that it's 100%. What's quicker, okay? Earning 2 gold? Well, maybe we could do it once for, like, the more expensive parts of Nika's stuff. Where's the Nika's... The most expensive is the boots. So maybe 1 meta to get the boots, because we earn money during that as well. But getting 2 gold from somewhere. You don't need to do PvP to buy the Vial of Salt.
See why we
Really?
should have
What
to
would
take
we have to
orders
do
from
to...
mice and talking cabbages.
Alright, let me check that out then. Vial of Salt. That saves us on laurels. So Mystic, Essence of Determination, Challenge, Discipline, and Success. Essence of Determination. So you just basically buy a bunch of mats. No, sort of seems okay. Yeah, but it's lots of Imperial fragments and stuff as well, which we don't have many of, and we're going to want for our weapon. Can't you buy bladed armor boxes for airship parts too? You can, that's a good point. Let's check what the price on that is. Because then maybe you could get 2 boxes per Verdant Brink meta. That would be pretty cool. There we go. Apparently PvE mainers get into bronze and AFK to get chests. That's quite crazy.
Wow, that's quality armor.
Oh,
Thank
we
you so
need
much. Take a look.
the mastery if we're going to do that. The mastery, Itzel language is just number 2, so that's basically a non-mechanic. We would train that while we were getting the first meta done. But so I don't actually know what this stuff's priced at. It's so stupid. I hate that you can use this guy as a regular vendor, even when you don't have the mastery. But hey, whatever. Where is it? Oh, here you go. Headgear, shoulders, glove, leggings, and boots. The only thing we can't get is a coat, which we'd get from the end of the thing, right? You can buy Berserker armor with Karma at the Cathedral of Silence. Right, yeah, and that's the ore idea. Or it's like 40k Karma per piece, I think, or something like that. So we'd be able to get 2 really quickly, just straight up. Did we go to ore on this character? We did. So, like, the Cathedral of Silence. I don't know whether Murdered Dreams is taken right now. I'm spending money here, by the way, which is coming off of the 0 to Hero character as our waypoint around. Oh, is the bladed stuff, it's only rare, really? But you see this vendor? All we have to do is walk to this vendor, Jonah's Dead Run. And down here, you got these, yeah? And we would just buy these for 42k each. So we'd get 2 just straight up, basically for free. Just from the consequence of leveling. And we could get the coat and stuff. Bladed is exotic. Yeah, it is exotic. Good. And airship parts are pretty easy. Okay, so I'm thinking power. I'm thinking of going power because what I'm thinking we can do is what I'm thinking we can do with power is we can grab 2 of these. We can do like 1 meta in VB, which will give us a box for another thing and probably enough shards for another thing. And then that's 4 already done. And then maybe another VB after that. They should just nerf gold income over the entire game by a few % everywhere and remove waypoint costs. And then all this stuff we bought for Huntsman will still be for Huntsman. We have to level Huntsman to 400 or 500 to craft our rifle. But now that if we go power, how does that change our ascended weapon? Let's just change gears for a second before pulling any triggers. How does that change the story for the weapon? So we want an ascended power rifle. We cannot PvP for it. What is the quickest way to go? Go. What do you guys think? So I'm thinking... Again, there's no elite specialization track, which is fine. So we don't really need to worry about that. Because we're only going for 1 weapon instead of 2 now, there's a slightly higher chance we can get it from an RNG method. So Tech, I think, is too heavily RNG. Triple Trouble is too heavily RNG. Shatterer doesn't have anything. Where else can you RNG a box like that? Where else can you pull a box out of the bag just from pure luck. Fractals, but again, doing all of fractal progression just to get to a point where the RNG is a little bit more viable, I think is a bit ridiculous. Craft it with Huntsman 500. You get bladed head gearbox from the jungle provides. World vs. World is a place we could get an ascended rifle. Weapons don't even drop till T3. Yeah, that's ages away. Oh yeah, we might even get enough karma for another piece here as well. What's this with World vs. World? Where would we get an ascended weapon from World vs. World? Again, remember, we are an invader. We've got no badges of honor or anything. So whatever your World vs. World idea is, you've got to remember that this is the start. Craft a rifle, that's what most new players will do. It was my first ascended, and it's what I did. Yeah, it's not necessarily what you did, though. It's what is best. Auric Basin? I mean, whatever the RNG is, it would have to be reasonably high method. Again, I don't actually know here, guys, what we'd be looking for in terms of vendors in World vs. World. The ranked chests have a chance to drop, yeah, but that's just, yeah, very low RNG in World vs. World. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think crafting the rifle is the way to go. So we would still push our Huntsman to 400 and then 500 after, just like we were planning with the pistols. It's just that instead this time we're going for a power rifle instead of 2 Condi pistols. You were so scared I was going to get the armor on the wrong character. What? Oh, you've done that before. Oh, God, that sounds horrible. I can only think that you can craft it. You get some gold doing metas for armor. It might not be absolutely horrid. I really feel like we're underestimating the LFG mechanic of this. I've never raided yet, but I believe VG is the first thing I would have to do, right? Is it going to be really hard to get started, even if I could use power for the rest of the raid? LFG is so brutal for such organized content. You just said you've not even raided, so why are you making comment on how brutal LFG is? I don't know how brutal LFG is. I'd like to have enough faith in people that a score of 93 instead of 100, but nonetheless is on meta battle means something. Like, LFG really is very deluded if it thinks that... I mean, when you're pugging anyway, I'll tell you, as an experienced raider myself, right, and as a long-term player of this game, if I was LFGing raids, I would take, even at VG, right... I would take 100 times a power NG over a Condi NG. I absolutely would. Because in LFG, you don't know what you're getting. And I've seen some really... Just look on Twitch. Look at any stream that people are playing the game. Look, I've done stuff like Triple Trouble where I've been trying really hard and everyone's been trying hard. And I've played with people who have spent hours and hours and hours desperately trying to be world first to clear content. And then at that same time, I've watched their stream of how they're playing and they're terrible at the game. And they're bad with their cooldowns. It happens everywhere. There was a video on Reddit just the other day, and you'll find confirmation of this wherever you look. There was a video just the other day on Reddit where some guy was said, hey, look, I want to show you what Condi NG looks like to play. Does anybody remember this? Check this out on Reddit, right? And what he was doing was he was filming his keyboard to show his fingers as he was playing this supposedly complicated rotation. And it's fine, and I'm not being mean about the video, and I think, you know, whatever, that's all good. But watch that video. That is a video, right, where if you're recording yourself, you generally have some awareness and you're going to be a little bit better at your rotations. This is a video someone's made, not just of raids, but it's a video showing off the rotation. And the guy spends like minutes at a time not even popping his flamethrower tool belt skill, which is a huge part of the DPS. And he doesn't even pop it. He doesn't even notice this sort of cooldown. And it's an instant activation. There's no cast time on it. There's no fitting it into the rotation. It's just press it when it recharges. And that guy in that environment still wasn't capable of actually using the button. Okay? I don't believe that Condi NG is actually the most difficult thing in the world, but I do believe that power is way, way, way easier. And so, as an experienced player, and as someone who's done a lot of raids, and as someone who's been playing this game for a long time, of both power and Condi NG, just not in a raiding scenario, if I was LFGing, I'm expecting the people coming into my group to be shit. Especially if it's like a training run, especially if it's like a practice run, and they're going to have to focus on the actual mechanics and where they need to be stood, and not getting blinked away by blues, and you know, not going to the wrong place at the split, and getting you know, the arc lightnings and stuff. With their attention split, I have absolutely zero confidence that a regular NG would be any good at Condi NG. just because I don't believe that people actually know how to execute the stuff. And if I was LFGing, I don't give a fuck what meta battle says. I would take a power NG every single time. I would not bat an eye at that. If I don't know you, if I've never seen you play, if it's a complete gamble, power NG, please. And I say that completely irrespective of everything about Zero to Hero. Okay, but that's my opinion. So when I think about this, I kind of think maybe Power NG doesn't have that bad time getting into LFG. Because if anyone's got any wits about them, any wits whatsoever, they're going to ask for Power NGs. I would never ask for a Condi NG on LFG. Not unless I needed Condi for that role because everyone else has taken everything else. And Condi is necessary to clear the content within a reasonable time frame. Such as VB, such as the example we saw a second ago. You're right, WP, but LFG doesn't think like that. So I don't know. That guy was trolling for YouTube views? What do you mean he was trolling for YouTube? LFG is brutal for new raiders, but that's because everyone asked for kill proof and LI, not specific builds or ascended, I guess you mean that? I love watching WP's walking and jumping. Video of keyboard, please. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'm not even touching the keyboard. This is all right-handed. Well, except when I jump, and I'm using my left hand for that. It's literally just a video of the spacebar. That's all it is. My auto-run key is on my mouse, so there's nothing else I'm doing. LFG varies wildly. Sometimes they want 4 LEs, otherwise they'll take anything. Yeah, is there a rule or part of this that WP can't start his own raid group and has to join others' LFGs? Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, guys, I'm going to pick power. I'm thinking I'm going to pick power because of all the arguments we've given, but also I'm thinking that what we'll do at the end of at the end of Zero to Hero, once we've got what we want, I'm thinking of playing until we clear an encounter, so we can see firsthand what the LFG world's like. And if LFG's really bad, right, and we can't get into a group, what I think I should do is we should just take that as a learning experience, right? And we should say, yeah, look, so we went power because it was a lot easier. Do bear in mind that if you're not on a class that's built for power, traditionally, if there's even a slight discrepancy on meta battle, this is going to really reduce your chances of getting into a raid. 0 LI, low achievement score, point score, all of this stuff, it makes it harder, and at that we could only play power NG, so that made us struggle. And we embrace that, we're open to that, and we say, yeah, look, it was hard. And then we can say, well, what's the solution to that? Well, maybe your first raiding character, you should try to make it something like, you know, like a Rev. And obviously people are like, oh yeah, Rev's the new class as well. I love that. I don't know. I'm not going to play till I clear all the encounters because that would be way too long. I have other ambition for the stream. It's not worth my time. I don't give a fuck about the series that much. I'm not clearing every single encounter, but I would at least clear one. Wouldn't smart people endeavor to see how things are? You're right, the undersigned. I think, and those are the people watching this series to see what it's like, or who will be looking at the eventual video that comes at the end of it, aren't they? So, yeah, I just said Rev because I meant it's a power. You know, it's well understood to be power. So, yeah, that's what I think we do. And the other thing that undermines the whole Condi versus power thing anyway is all of this is subject to balance shifts and skill and things like that, and the way they design the way that they design future content. Because you know what will be really interesting? If the next raid, which could come out before Zero to Hero is even over, if the next raid actually has big incentive for NGs, or scrappers specifically, that would be huge. That would be really, really interesting. Okay, I do give a fuck about the series. I just don't care about it enough to spend... sitting about on LFG and failing raids over and over isn't my idea of fun. I'm not a full-time streamer. There's no way I'm doing that. But yeah, so I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. The straw poll in the end, by the way, did come out with Condi 2% higher than power. But I think that's not the right call to make. I think we go power instead. I think power's a lot smarter. And so yeah, so that gives us a lot of direction. That lets us understand. Wow, this stream went on really long. That gives us a lot of direction. What we're going to be doing then, guys, is next stream we're going to do another berry run, and we're going to run down to Ore. We're going to get to the very south of Ore to pick up our 2 pieces of armor. And then beyond that, we're then going to go to probably do some VB metas, and we're probably going to run... we'll look into fractals. We'll see whether we should do a couple of recommended fractals where we don't need agony and stuff like that, and we'll look into that to see whether we can get a ring based on that as well. Why did we do a straw poll? I said at the start of the straw poll to see what people were thinking. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I think that would be pretty interesting. I don't see how they design a raid to require scrapper. How would that work? By playing with a function gyro. You'd have like a lot of downstate enemies that have to be stomped. And they're far away, and function gyro can go do the stomps and things. Something like that. If you're looking for Ascended Armor, play ranked PvP for the shards. No, we're not doing ranked PvP. None of this would even matter if we had PvP, by the way. None of this would even matter. Do you know what? If we'd voted yes to PvP, we could do Condi, we could do anything we wanted in the whole world. And let that be clear to anyone watching this series as well. If we had done PvP, we could just pick whatever the fuck we want and stat set it to whatever the fuck we want. Seriously, it would be berries and it would be PvP. And there you go, we're done. The PvP vote has been an interesting one. And what sours me about it is I feel like a lot of people who voted for that aren't even along for the long haul. They were like there for that one stream and now they pissed off. They're off, you know, having a wank doing something else and they don't realise the trouble that they've wrought. A bit like Brexit. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope to see you on the very next stream. Which will be tomorrow, where we'll do the lottery giveaway. So again, 500 gold, guys. 500 big ones. If you're interested in that, check out the link in chat. If you're interested in joining the guild and doing some of our cool events and things with us, you can also check out the link to the Discord, which is in chat right now. And aside from that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for the chat. I hope you all had a good night. And I will see you shortly.